How you tell me I ain't shit? All the money that I made that was supposed to keep us lit. I was out here sucking dick. I was trying to pay the rent.
He didn't say these hoes out here.
No.
He said me.
No, wait.
Oh my
Run it back
God.
one more time. One more time.
That was supposed to keep us lit. I was out here sucking dick.
I was out
How
here.
I was out here sucking. Oh my God.
Yo, what?
See, out of the big stories, Dom is live posted this 1 minute ago. I can't even believe the title. 42 Doug admitted to sucking dick to pay his family's rent. We need a bar check right there because
That nigga said I was out here sucking dick just so I could pay the rent.
Yo, he just said he's a proud sex worker. Can we get Yuri in here to do my socials?
Can we get Yuri to confirm if 42 Doug, in fact,
Yuri,
sucked some dick?
Can you go figure out what the 42 Doug top is like?
Okay, I see some people in the comments being like, he said hoes out here sucking dick, which is what I heard the first time.
It sounded like he said I was out here.
It was questionable.
I would
agree.
assume because rappers talk about other people sucking dick all the time, but they rarely admit that they are the ones sucking dick.
But then if he would have said these hoes out here sucking dick just so they could pay the rent, he said just so I could pay the rent.
Maybe he's putting hoes on the strip.
So that he could pay the rent.
Oh, he's put okay. I mean,
You know?
That's
it just sounded really crazy.
I mean, I'm fascinated by 42 Doug. He's so fucking good, but he also
He's
like,
about to shoot. He's about to shoot us for even insinuating
Thinking
that
that.
we.
Did you know about him before he was signed with Baby
Hell
and shit?
no.
Me neither. I wonder what level he was on
I
prior
had
to that.
no idea who he was until that We Paid song.
Yeah. Did you see the video of his ex talking about how she could sit a cup on that ass?
No.
You seriously don't know what I'm talking about? Oh, that's so fucked up.
Let me see the ass.
I would. I'll show it to you right now. You want to see the ass? You ain't seen his videos? He's thick as a snicker.
Oh, I thought you meant that you could sit
I
a cup
thought you
on
said
her
her
ass.
ass.
No.
Oh, his ex said she could sit a cup on his ass.
Yes. She goes, I can't beef with no N-word thicker than me.
Oh
Yo.
my
She
God.
keeps saying it. She says it a bunch of times. It's one of the greatest sound bites in the history
That's
of hip
even
hop.
funnier now that he dropped this bar. I was out
my
here sucking
God.
dick just so
She could
I
run with
pay
that for
the-
at least a year.
Maybe she put him on the stroll. I'm
On
trying
the
to.
stroll?
Yo,
Yeah.
she put him on the blades to make the rent.
Maybe she had him sucking dick.
Yo, you gotta stop playing with this nigga
Yeah,
gangster,
I don't
bro.
want to like play with him too hard because I'm never gonna get the interview. I might have already crossed the line. That's never gonna.
I think we just crossed the line right now.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I didn't. It wasn't us though. It was Diamonds Live.
I'm a 42 Doug fan though, and I feel like Dom Islam is the one stirring it up. It's all his fault.
Diamonds Live's been stirring up
He's been
hella
stirring up
shit
some
lately.
shit.
Right. No, that's a good thing we should talk about. Do you think Glow Peep's a legend? That's the question. I mean, from the scene that we are from, it seems
It's not
so
even a-
unbelievably
Yeah.
obvious. Of course he's a legend. It's
100%.
Lil Peep. He's like one of the most influential guys out of our
And
fucking
even
time.
his scene.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
scene is our scene.
I mean,
Not he's
Kinda.
he's kind of like he's kind of more towards the mainstream side, but not really though, because he was.
No, I think he
What
covers
kind of
more
underground shit-
underground stuff
Oh, no,
than,
I guess
than
X.
academics.
I guess X. Yeah.
does
but-
he really though? I feel like Dom Is Live kind of has the exact same like lens of who he covers as academics,
Yeah.
and
I think he covered more lesser known people before, but now he's doing this thing where he's doing like the weekly wrap up and it's like only the biggest artists.
right. Well,
But-
everybody sort of like arrives at that conclusion over time.
Yeah.
Once you're covering people, it's like, oh, I only want to cover the people who are really, really popular because they're the ones who
They're
get the most
getting
views.
clicks,
From
yep.
my perspective, though, like somebody was just asking me, like, oh, do you want to line up the I Swear Vezo interview? I'm like, boom, perfect. Because I feel like
Yeah.
us, No Jumper, when I get someone who's underground and do a long ass conversation with them and get them to really keep it real, talk about a lot of in depth shit.
It means something.
That's the number one thing that the No Jumper fan base is going to go crazy for. Like, to me, I just dropped the interview with Ross Swish, who was like Pop Smoke's best friend. Pfft, I know they're going to love that one because it's just, that's exactly what they want. It's just like a window into fucking the life of the
I think
people
you
that
just
they
have to have the
love.
balance of like keeping, you know, the lesser known and giving them a platform to speak. And I mean, that's what No Jumper was built upon, was giving these artists a
People-
platform to speak and do interviews for the first time. Why is this here?
Because
He just wants to show off his hat, even though you worn that on here before.
so
Is
I
he
was
not
just,
allowed to again?
Yeah,
But he like set it up, like
I
we're
said
at
it-
lids and shit. He wants everybody to see it.
I said it because I'm gonna eventually take off my
Babushka?
extremely drippy Taco Bell babushka. I don't know.
Where
You
the
need to
fuck
do-
is that? Is that just a bag from Taco Bell?
No, it's
No.
like it's a bandana, made from
You need
Taco
to
Bell.
you need to
Wow.
wrap a taco in it and then like do a little skit.
I mean, I could just act like I just literally just bought a taco and then just wrap this around my head, but it's a bandana.
If you pulled that off your head and there was just a mushed up burrito, like,
Or they were just like
in
lettuce
your
and
hair.
cheese.
cheese flakes.
Cheese and sour cream. Also, shout out to Half Evil Blasey on the T. We got the exclusive Hidden NY Air Forces with the Hidden NY socks. You know what I'm saying? Just shout out my boy Hidden.
Them's is Under Armour. But we're doing actually, well, we won't talk too much in depth about it, but me and House Phone are working on some fashion-related content.
Yeah, don't ever call it drip.
I was about to say, don't say the
Don't
word
call it
drip.
drip.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble or anything, but we've been told very, very specifically, do not call it drip. And
Or
don't
don't.
call it drip.
No
content.
drip
Or
facts.
don't use any words from the Driptionary.
As far as I'm concerned, we co-authored the Driptionary.
As far as I'm concerned, there is literal proof in the comments of me saying words, creating words with him. Let's just go ahead and speak on this. So, DJ Fashion Demics,
Who we gave a platform.
fashion parody,
All his followers came from us.
fashion parody account. I mean, really,
Is he even DJ Fashion Demics? Isn't he just Fashion Demics?
I think
It's just Fashion
I
Demics.
think his bio actually says DJ.
That's funny.
But it's a joke. I mean, honestly, shout out to him. It's a very funny page. It's just funny that
His first reaction when he saw that we were going to do a show together was basically that we had stolen
That
from
we
him.
that we like stole this idea from him, when in fact the first episode, just a little fun fact for everyone, the first episode that Adam 22 ever invited House Phone to do on No Jumper was the streetwear review that we have been doing since, I believe, 2015, 2016. So
It used to be a very raw, uncut podcast where we would just open up packages, and it got to the point where we were opening 50 packages and looking through 8 shirts per package, and
It made no
so
sense.
many of them were so trash, and we would have nothing to say about them. It wasn't the best concept.
People
Although
loved
was,
it, though.
It was kind of fun. Yeah,
think it's funny.
there was definitely a fan base, and we probably should have kept going with it. But I think our new format that we've been working on, and which we're going to discuss after this, is going to be better.
A lot
for-
Discuss
better.
after this on air or no?
we're gonna discuss it off air. Yeah,
Drip,
I'm
drip
curious.
drip representation.
Representation.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Representation.
those are words that you cannot actually say in real life. You can type it out on your phone, but you can't really say that shit in real life.
Representation. I'm trying to say representation. Drip representation. It's not working.
Rep dripsentation. I
You
don't
gotta
know.
start with drip.
Maybe we
No,
should choose
you
a
could-
different word. Maybe
Anyway.
representation's not it.
Anyway, shout out to Fashion Demics, man. If everybody thinks that it's a beef,
He
there's no
wants the
beef.
smoke, man. He wants the smoke with us. He wants to fight Cam Girl. He said he was going to beat her up in his yard.
Definitely not.
No.
In his yacht.
in his yard.
That's how we say where I'm from.
Nah, so
I still have no idea what he looks like. I know he's done face reveals and stuff like
he
that. but I
literally
have no
posts his
idea.
videos of himself in the story like every day.
I hate us for hyping him up this much for no reason, but I do also want to say that when
Shout out to him.
I asked Fashion Demics where he's from, he said New Mexico. I didn't respond for 20 seconds. He responds, "It's in America."
It's not in Mexico?
I mean, I know where New Mexico is. I live in America, but I know all 50 states, really.
He's from what,
Yeah.
like Albuquerque or some shit?
I don't know. He's probably from like Farmington, New Mexico.
I think he said New Mexico.
Shout out to Farmington, New Mexico.
Where's that?
In New Mexico.
In America.
In America.
Oh, in America, right.
The American version.
Of course, New Mexico's in America. Old Mexico is in Mexico.
The
No,
OG
but
Mexico.
let's just be honest. Anybody could have did that concept and like been cooler about it though. I feel like the thing that I'm trying to convey to him, but like I don't really need to convey this to him. That just relax a little bit. That's it. Like I feel
think
like he.
he's not actually mad. He probably just wants to be
He wants
part of it.
content.
He just wants to be part
It's
of
not
it.
even
and
that.
content.
He heard we mentioned his name or said anything related to him at all.
we mention his name every week though.
fucking
I know, it's
podcast.
sad. It's fucked up. And I told you, we're putting the battery in his back, and we have no idea what kind of monster we're creating.
Dude, we're already seeing it right now. He's literally threatening legal action against us for something we haven't even done yet, and an idea that we've been doing before his page even existed.
You know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt that he was just kidding, but I like your attitude more. Where like we
I don't
should
think he was joking
let's
at all.
Hold his feet to the fucking flames, man.
don't think he was.
Every word he says, we're taking it 100% literally.
Nah.
No,
no.
and you were nice about it. You were like, what did you say? You want to have him on and like do a little meet in person or
I said the same
on
thing.
air?
We got to get him on here. We got to find out what he's all about on camera. That would just be the most crucial experience, I think.
Speaking of drip investigator.
Drip
Drip
investigations.
investigation.
See, that kind of works.
Speaking of drip investigators, I tried to ask Hidden and why would he be down to get involved, and he was like, "No, I'm hidden.
Oh, he's about being low key.
I'm like, "Damn, bro, it kind of hurt my." Nah, it didn't hurt because I understand.
You're gonna have like rotating
Shout out
guests?
to him, man.
If you want to be a poppin' streetwear brand in the year of our Lord 2020,
It's
then
not even about but his platform isn't just like he's not just a streetwear brand.
And he posts like different content.
he's
as well.
like I like to call it an archive page.
a drip archive.
hidden. I don't even know who.
Drip,
I-
a drip
I'll put you-
archive.
I'll
I just
you on.
assumed it was like a brand.
But okay, so it's an archive page where like he posts like cool aesthetic things like, you know, watches and cars and shoes, mostly shoes and drip related things, but
Right.
he posts other cool stuff. And then from there, his following got big, made the brand after. Now I'm wearing the Hidden NY Forces
Okay.
and the Hidden socks.
Because this is the thing is if you want to be a relevant streetwear brand in 2020, then you just have to like you have to have a level of mystique, a level of mystery. That's why Garrett from Revenge wears a mask. Zach from FTP.
I was gonna say,
won't
wait,
let you
wait.
see his face. It's a very consistent thing.
Can we just go ahead and just say that I think Zach kind of just kicked that trend off
100%.
and then everyone else kind of just followed suit?
I don't know if Zach knew that he was modeling himself after all those English rappers, though. Like everybody in the UK, it's like too dangerous to be a rapper out in public, so everybody rocks a mask if you talk about selling drugs or
Damn.
anything.
That's a point I never thought about.
Yeah, but that's not really. Well, no, but now the rumor guy, RMR, he does it. He's like the first American rapper I can think of who always wears a mask and tries to keep his identity low key.
I don't
It's
even know who
crazy
that is.
because that
Yes, you
used
do.
to
We
be
talked
like
about him the other day.
a EDM thing, like fucking Marshmello and wearing like big masks.
But he's
and, like,
kept it
head
going
things.
all these years, right?
It's crazy. I don't know why.
Who,
that's
Marshmello?
It's a thing in the EDM world, like fucking Dead Mouse and shit.
But see, they're just like streetwear, where it's all the fucking same. So they have to do weird shit to make the shit stand out.
that's
You
a
know,
fact.
Makes sense.
in rap, it's kind of different because it's like much more distinct. Like nobody's gonna mistake Lil Baby for Gunna, you know. But like a lot of these fashion brands
some
sort of
people
mix
will.
it. Well, like if you just heard it, yeah, some people for sure. But if you like, you know, it's so easy for a fashion brand. It needs mystique. It needs something built around it to make it more than just a clothing brand because now everybody has a clothing brand, you know.
Yeah, you definitely need like a story behind it.
And I feel like the more outspoken of a public figure you are on behalf of the brand, like as the brand owner, the more it starts to feel like merch. Like I fuck with Lil Nar,
Yeah.
but Narcotic
is
felt,
Lil Nar merch.
You know, if now it feels like Lil Nar merch more, whereas before it kind of felt more like a streetwear brand, and I think
was.
that probably has more of a shelf life. You know,
I'm gonna be honest. He really capitalized on the fucking camouflage pants trend more than anybody, dude. Because he
started it.
well, not that he
Well,
started.
the multicolor ones.
Yeah, when he made the multicolor ones, dude, he fucking. I was seeing that shit everywhere.
To the moon. You saw it everywhere. And it got ripped off.
And it got ripped off by so many fucking brands.
Yeah.
He did cool ass collab. I remember they did like a Suicide Boys one. It was like they were all black and gray, but there was 3 different types of camos. I was
Right.
dude, he was going crazy with that
Because
shit.
that was the time when like everyone was wearing those fucking camel pants.
Yeah, man.
And he
I
was
think we need
able-
to bring those times back.
I would be.
I really like those
yeah,
pants.
I wonder
They
if I
fit.
still have some.
They really fit like perfectly.
like
Or-
the green, red, and blue ones. Like
Or I need like some like Wiz Khalifa style camouflage shorts, cargo shorts to come back.
But like, I saw a skate clip of somebody, and they were wearing like the 3-color Narcotic camo pants, and it
Was this from 2017?
It dated the clip to such an extreme extent. Like, oh, I know exactly when that was filmed, roughly.
Yeah.
Or like, there was a feeling when you were on Melrose, and you would see a girl walking up, and she would have some fucking crazy camo pants on, and you'd be just looking at her like, man, you really don't know what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on. Like, that was so last month. Like,
That's like you don't need to see a bitch ID if you see she's wearing those pants. You know to stay away.
oh yeah,
Do you
she's
think
she in
that-
8th grade for
Do you
sure.
think that's
You gotta stay away for sure.
Do you think that's what's happening with Chrome Hearts?
Oh,
but-
this became the drip.
Wow,
the drip
yeah.
This is the-
Welcome
this
to
is
the
the
Streetwear Show number 1. This is it.
This is it,
This
right?
is it. It turns out, yeah, it's exactly like the No Jumper Show. It happens at the same time. Also, this is the 1-year episode, really.
This is the 1 year
52.
episode.
Oh my god.
Oh,
wow.
this is more important than the Virgil episode.
Doesn't it feel like we've been doing this way longer than a year?
Well, it's because we've all known each other and been involved
Yeah.
in No Jumper activities for longer than a year.
But it's just consistently kept getting more and more serious, you know?
Yeah,
I'm glad.
To the
At first
point
we were
where-
like, what the fuck are we doing?
I felt like a
We
free
start on
agent.
time. We do it every week.
I felt like a free agent for a long time, you know?
Well, you were still just moving around. You didn't have your podcast situation like straightened out 100%.
Yeah. It was just like, you know, I was kind of just like loosely associated. Now I'm
You're
diving
in it.
I tried to do the Adam 22 show on the Adam 22 channel at one point, and it was just a different crew every week, and it just that kind of fizzled out. Like,
Yeah,
Oh, I
because
remember
how
when
many-
you did that.
you can't build chemistry that way.
maybe
huh?
8 episodes. Yeah, like because then at a certain point it became like, oh, I'm just gonna have like whatever porn star girl is around or whatever. Like, oh, Lil Xan's around. Let's have him on this
Or
episode.
Dub or Rico.
Right, but then it's like, why don't you just have like if you're gonna do that, why not just do a Lil Xan interview or whatever? Just do a episode of Lil Xan. That's not really the Adam 22 show.
Speaking of Lil Xan, let me just go ahead and pick this bone with you right now. So I'm sitting here
Pause.
on Instagram I get a DM from a fan. I don't know who, but I get a DM from a fan, and it's a clip of the end of the Sarah Molina interview, and it's just Adam just shitting on me about me talking about different girls. And
Was he
just,
lying?
I called you a hoe.
But it's like
Use a hoe.
you plugged Lil Xan with like Riley Reid or whoever. You plugged Lil like
It's real.
It's like, bro, why you can a nigga just get some love one time?
I mean,
like,
I was
I'm not
asked-
saying you're lying. I'm not saying you're lying. But like, bro, you supposed to be trying to lob the pussy to the homie, not
Listen,
block it.
Sarah Molina asked, like, what's up with this house phone
yeah,
guy?
she asked about
How
me.
did that conversation come about?
Hey,
I don't
wait.
remember.
Hey,
She said, like,
shout out
wasn't he
to Sarah-
saying something about me or
Shout
something?
out to Sarah Molina,
She
by the way.
definitely watched
Very
the
gorgeous.
Selena Powell interview.
And she said, like, doesn't that guy have a girlfriend? I'm like, honestly, I don't know. Every week it's different. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't.
Well, I DM'd her to make sure that she knew that I was in fact single and there's no other situations going on. So
I love you guys as a drip couple.
I think we could take over, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, man.
What if we started a podcast together?
Bro, you want to know the most fucking New
I
York
would do-
thing ever?
I would do
she
an Ace
comes in here
Family.
with two girls. Like, one of the girls goes to me. She goes, where can I buy Fronto around here?
Oh God.
You're like nowhere.
Like, you really thinking about Fronto
7-Eleven?
in Burbank? Like, get the fuck out of here. You buy that shit at a fucking flea market from an 80-year-old Jamaican guy. And you
What
think,
if-
like, we don't have, those guys don't live here, so we don't have Fronto. Or maybe there probably is a store that has Fronto, but
there
I don't know.
is, but you have to really look for them.
Yeah.
What if me and her started like a fucking family YouTube together? And
I love that.
I became
What,
like,
you're gonna be the stepdad?
I would be. Bro, her kid is amazing, dude.
You can be Austin for sure.
You know,
I
it's-
watch that shit I watch every episode of the Ace Family with my girlfriend. I love their kids.
Do you know how many DMs I got about that? Like, yo, Adam's such a piece of shit. He just threw you under the bus immediately. He fucking sucks. He fucking sucks AD off whenever, but he always tries to shit on you. I could here. Let's go through and read some.
We
of them.
don't even need to. I did not say anything that was untrue about you. AD is in a relationship the whole time I've known him, so I would respect that. You
I
know?
don't know. AD said something in the DMs the other day, and I was like, wow.
Right. I'm not going to touch that. I don't know how serious he was, but
Adam just doesn't want to see. See, you know what it is? It's
doesn't
the
wanna
white.
see you
It's
win.
the white man trying to separate the Black and Latino communities. And
if you and her start hanging out, it could be nothing but trouble.
how would that be trouble?
You know, the Mexicans from New York and the black guys
What?
I
from
don't
Doty
think
Block.
this is not gonna start a race war.
It
Yeah, right. Like,
could help.
it could
could
help.
help.
It could help bridge the gap. Honestly,
It could honestly help
people were
things.
saying I should have fought you for that.
Okay, all right, here we go. To avoid the fade that house phone could inevitably
God, you're
deliver
gonna-
to me.
Oh! wait. You know this is like basically my birthday present, right?
When's your birthday?
Wait, when's your birthday?
August 13th.
This is. I thought it was August 13th today. My bad.
Whoa!
Look at that.
Finally.
Shout out Junior the jeweler.
Shout out Junior man.
It's changing hands.
Wait, and it matched the watch too. Stop playing. I might have
Match
to
the
take
bust down?
I might have to take the yellow gold off and just only rock this one.
Match the bust down.
Hold
bro.
on, man. I'm about to rock this the whole podcast. Damn it, I got to get a gun now.
Shout out to Sarah Molina.
I got to get another gun now.
Oh yeah, they taking that shit at ham. Next ham show. There hasn't been a ham show in a long time. It's too
In
bad.
like a year.
And this nigga got it on backwards. That's how I know Adam don't wear jewelry. He had the clasps on the other side.
I haven't worn that in probably 2 years.
I might have to go get it cleaned.
So
to be
where did
honest.
you find it?
Yeah, where did you finally find this at?
Like under your bed, in your mattress.
Lena was
This is the
looking for
couch.
something else. She was looking for some kind of charger.
Shout out to Lena the plug. Lena the plug is the one who really cares and
She's
found.
literally the plug.
She literally found it and was like, "Oh, hasn't House Home been asking for this?"
Exactly, because she
Aw.
always listens to the podcast, hears us talking
No way she
about
listens
it.
to our podcast.
She
Really?
does because she wants to know what time I'm gonna come home, and also like
Oh, I love
she's
Lena.
not gonna watch like most of the rapper interviews because she knows she doesn't give a fuck or know anything about them. But this we kind of talk about ourselves and our lives, so she probably
Is this an insight into like what you're really thinking about?
a little bit. And I really hope that you guys give me the space to talk about becoming a father once I become a father, because I feel like I don't want to be like that dickhead who starts a podcast about being a dad. I want to just probably like cram it in here.
Yeah, why
Pause.
not? Why would you start a whole podcast about being a dad?
People do this. Like it's a totally
Yeah?
different version of yourself.
But I feel like
I
you
thought
could
you were
do
doing that family YouTube thing.
We do have
Isn't-
that.
Isn't that what you're gonna?
I think
do
I'm gonna
the
start
dad
making
stuff
mad
there?
videos on my personal channel too. Just talking. Well, I don't know. Maybe if I have anything to say. If
Whoa.
if
You
what
saw
happened?
that?
What happened?
so people really love Sarah Molina, though. I will tell you that much. They're
Text it.
Hopefully, Josh.
talking
got that.
about her left and right. What? What happened?
Look at me.
There it is. Huh?
Okay, we heard you. We heard you.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. What?
I'll text you. I'll text you.
I'll text you.
Why are you whispering on the podcast?
Yeah, that's
What was that?
Horrible, but I'll just tell you in text.
Anyway, here.
Since when do we text each other things on here?
Because
It's serious here.
yeah, that's why. In the comments. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so fucking I got the chain finally. Shout out to Linda the Plug, LTP.
Yeah.
Finding the chain.
It looks nice. It matches your outfit.
Yeah, it looks better than I remember it like 2 years ago when I was thinking
Did you
about
ever
it.
wear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
He used to wear both of them. He used to wear both chains at the same time.
They would get tangled up and all
and
that?
the mouth, the grill.
Oh God, I was gonna say pass along the grill.
I definitely had the grill as well, yeah. And
Pass
it was,
along the grill and the
it was a very exciting time in my life.
pass along the grill and your 22 chain.
And so now here we are. Did you guys actually? I want to talk about this. Sorry, we just got distracted a little bit. Let's stay focused.
Okay,
I
focus.
don't even think we should have the comments visible,
Focus.
aside from the fact that sometimes things happen that we sometimes want to. Are you guys watching the comments while we do this? Somebody
Semi.
should definitely always
Yeah,
have eyes
watch
on the
it.
comments just to keep, because for us doing it, I think it takes away from the conversation a
Yeah.
bit. But okay.
Yes.
Did you guys actually seriously watch the Smoke Perp freestyle last night? Because I sat
watched
through
the whole thing.
I sat through 38 minutes of it. Honestly, it significantly negatively affected my mood.
Your whole life.
I'm just being honest with you. Like by the end of it, I really kind of didn't want to be alive anymore, and I was wondering. It just really
Didn't wanna be
affected
alive
my
anymore.
state of mind.
Really?
And I actually watched it before, but I don't think I made it all the way to the end.
Okay, so
It's a dark piece of content.
It is very dark, but it was so entertaining that it actually had the opposite effect on me.
Really?
It gave me some energy.
To me, it just became something where I couldn't help but think about what he was thinking in his head in the in between. But he also didn't seem all that rattled by it. But
You could tell, and his body gestures.
His body language.
So much of this, so much adjusting
Yeah.
the hat, so much
Yeah.
adjusting the
And
headphones.
when before he put
The
on
glass.
before he put on the sunglasses, you could see the shifty eyes and stuff like that. I'm glad he put the sunglasses on it. Yeah.
The weirdest thing about it too, though,
it
is that
helped.
people tried to make it out like the whole thing was as bad as the parts that have gone viral. Basically,
Yeah.
like, there are parts that are particularly funny, but the whole thing,
the whole thing together was really
Really?
crazy.
there's almost no strong moment rap wise.
There was no. I was about to try to give him the benefit of the doubt, just to play devil's advocate. But
He got like one bar off, and then
but
he
you
would
could tell
just-
that
it
was
would just
you could tell that
downhill.
was the written part though. Like that was the part that he already had ready.
Wait. So I was looking at Tim Westwood's YouTube and like the 40-minute thing, and like that's not a regular like form of content for him, does he?
Well, some people.
I know he does the Juice WRLD 1 hour, but
Right.
Juice WRLD can do that.
No, but that is Tim Westwood does that all the time. Like that's a huge thing in the UK is that all these rappers just go and
Go
do
for
these
an
full-
hour,
do
though?
40 minutes in an hour?
No, that's definitely a lot
Yeah, that's
longer.
what I'm asking.
Well, no, Smoke Perp apparently did an hour, and they had to
Yeah.
cut down.
Can you imagine the
his,
other 20 minutes of it?
Who on his team allowed that?
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking he's in the UK. He doesn't have a manager or his team around him or anything, really, because if you had anyone on your team, you're going to have to tell them to scrap that, right? Like anybody who's speaking in your best interest. Like one thing I noticed is that he rhymes in the first minute, he rhymes beam with beam and then Percocet with Percocet
He did that the whole time.
the whole time. And
whole time.
it's just like he never really
There was
says
no
anything.
There was no effort to like shift up the rhyme scheme, the
38
words.
minutes of nothing is
There
just kind
was
of depressing.
a lot of nothing. There was one part when he was getting tiny bit deep and being like, I'm from Florida where people get killed the first 48, and then immediately I'm fucking the bitch from the back. And I'm like, can we just, I don't know. It was just nothing of substance.
Right. The line is actually, it's first 48. They ain't catch you out now. They ain't catch you out
Later,
And
yeah.
he says it 4 times in a row.
It's like he was rough drafting a song in the studio.
That's why I felt like I was watching a session where like rappers go in and like
Oh, yeah.
put down their melodies and then fill in the words. But I'm like, why are we doing this on
Live, yeah, with no
radio?
auto tune. See, because I had only seen the part, like the 2-minute clip of like the Moonlight part.
Right.
I was not aware that there was a whole 40-minute version
Yeah, I
of
thought
this.
it was just that.
I got through about 7 minutes of it until I turned it off.
38 minutes. I did the whole,
whole
thing.
thing.
And there is a separate interview with Tim Westwood and Smoke Perp. I haven't forced myself to watch that. One of the craziest things about it is that even after this new round of hate that it's gotten, because it has been out for over a year.
It's been on for a year, yeah.
The like bar is like 17,000 likes and like 10,000 dislikes. That is pretty fucking amazing, because that really tells me that the standard by which like a lot of people are willing to press the like button, like, I don't know, maybe they're just diehard Tim Westwood fans that anything that Tim Westwood does, they're just going to co-sign. Maybe they don't care, because it was really about as bad as you could do.
How old is it?
It's a little over a year.
April last year, April 2019.
And I thought maybe he was trying to like capture the energy that Juice WRLD had put out, because Juice WRLD did an hour around the same time, but Juice WRLD's actually came out a little bit after.
But do you think what Juice WRLD's came out after the Smoke Perp one?
On Tim Westwood, but the Juice WRLD one came out maybe a month or two later. But a lot of rappers have gone on these UK rap shows and just absolutely
But they were referring to the Smoke Perp one on the...
Oh, really?
I mean, they were referring to the Juice WRLD one on the Smoke Perp interview.
Oh, you're right. I did see that somebody said that. But when I was looking at the dates, maybe I just fucked up the months. But maybe it was Smoke Perp thinking like, oh, Juice WRLD did this. Like, I can do this.
Yeah, but like...
I just want to know what made him think that he could do that. Like,
what made him think that he had the talent
like,
to
has
do
he
that?
ever freestyled for like over like 15 different beats and just gone crazy? Like, because that what he did there is the kind of thing that you could just do hanging out with the homies. You know, like when you and all your friends, you have a lot of energy and you just... Josh, you're not really saying that much, but it's just fun.
Even when you're with all the homies, I feel like you can like get some bars off and not repeat the same word 90 times. And I've never heard one nigga in a freestyle session like that start busting out melodies with no auto tune that like was
my
just
favorite part.
cringy to my ear.
The unforgettable one. Oh god.
Oh my god.
Honestly, today while I was researching some interviews, like a instrumental came on randomly on YouTube, and I found myself rapping to the beat in my head, sort of. And then I realized, I'm like, what I just did in the last like minute rapping in my head would have been like a lot better than anything that went. And no offense to Perp, because I consider Perp a friend. I want to see his career go in the right direction, but I mean, this thing has been so bad, and I'm just gonna stop you every time you start interrupting me like that. My bad. But what he's done here is so viral that even like I seen DJ Scheme going crazy with it on his Instagram. So I don't feel so bad, because he's also friends with Perp, and if he can acknowledge that this was like really kind of a once in a lifetime, you know, negative freestyle moment, I think everybody can, right?
He also may be some type of prophet or prolific figure, because he mentioned something about like killing a nigga like Corona or some shit a year ago. A year ago, before Corona existed.
Posted that.
Right. But
Before
to be
it existed.
fair, he is a boner. He's got a boner, and his gun is about to bust. It's got a boner, I think it's something like that.
And then what? So where did the Corona bar come in at?
I don't know, but there's not that many things around with boner, and I guess Corona is sort of in that family.
Maybe he was talking about the beer.
Yeah, but like I think it was like it was like something about killing a nigga like Corona or something.
Maybe he is a prophet.
Maybe he knew that he knew that this was gonna happen.
That was pretty incredible. I don't know.
And he knew it was gonna go viral again here.
Yeah, he knew that a year later that there would be a pandemic called the coronavirus, and that he was trying to warn us.
He's trying to get in on it too. He's tweeting out like, I got a boner and shit, and like just trying to sort of like own it.
I mean, he might as well. What else? What else are you gonna do besides own it? And fucking, he got to drop like "I'm a boner" like song.
I'm a boner. I'm a boner. I'm a boner. But I feel like that it might be all over at that point. No, because that is what he was doing on his story yesterday. He was saying, "I'm a boner. I'm a boner. I'm a boner."
Instead of "I'm a stoner."
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I don't know where he goes from here. Like what do you do to come back from this, as well as the album selling 5K? I feel like
make the most lyrical song ever.
After seeing that freestyle, though, what do you think that his most lyrical song might be like?
He might have to get
he needs to really sit there and write and get help from a writer.
He might need to get a writer at some point.
He should hire Lupe Fiasco to come in and like author his next project. Imagine he put out some
Fiasco.
Or Logic is retiring. Logic could do it. Imagine
Yep.
Logic wrote the next Perp album.
It'd be amazing.
Oh, I kind of like this.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to cut him some slack.
How
be
unbelievable when you think about it now is the fact that J. Cole interviewed Lil Pump. Like that happened.
It was really good too. I watched the whole thing.
That was a really good interview. I just can't
saw
believe we
him.
were on the tour that kind of started the fuck J. Cole movement.
Wait,
Started that there.
you said that you never watched that?
Never watched it.
Dude,
What?
you need to go home
It's
and
really
watch it.
good.
It's very. I learned more shit about Lil Pump in that hour than
Really?
I think I could have ever Like if that interview never came out, I don't think I would have ever taken him seriously at all.
I kind of initiated that conversation in the first place because at the time I was like communicating with J. Cole and Lil Pump, and Lil Pump asked me for J. Cole's number, and I gave it to him. And then I was in this trailer.
Did you get the approval first from J.
before
Cole?
I exchanged the number? Yes, and I like gave it to Pump, and I actually got to sit on the tour bus and listen to them FaceTime each other for like 20 minutes.
Whoa.
And by the end of that, I was kind of like, do I really need to watch this podcast? But now when I think about it, I'm like, maybe I do.
Lil Pump talks about his like family life and about like him almost like fucking shooting his stepdad or some crazy shit like that. Like it's
Really?
very introspective. It's a
Super
different
good.
it's
And
a different side of Lil
Pump.
Pump you've never seen before.
Wow, that's
It's beautiful.
interesting.
It's honestly really good.
I feel like there's got to be like whatever Lil Pump is on right now. It really makes me wonder because I actually seen him in February. I haven't seen him since, and I'm just wondering like what's going on in the life of Lil Pump because I'm pretty sure he moved. I'm pretty sure he's not in that same house in Calabasas anymore. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, a lot of rappers, not just him, a lot of rappers, you know, were streaming like crazy and were touring and making a lot of money off touring. And now that there's no touring, and
What
like
they do?
you know, Pump might be in that category of like
Yeah.
he's probably not streaming that much right now and can't tour. So I just, you know, I wonder what is because he was living an extremely expensive lifestyle previously. I wonder how much that has changed because like I noticed that Pump took like a 6-week break from Instagram. And then he came back and did like a cash giveaway post or whatever. Like follow 50 accounts and you get this.
Yeah, what's
cash
up with
giveaway.
that? Can we dive into that? Is that like the Benny the Butcher mixtape series?
No, which by the way, Benny Butcher was very unhappy about us covering that.
Yeah, I don't want to upset one of my favorite fucking rappers. Thanks, Adam.
No, I'm gonna hop on. I was supposed to hop on Zoom with him like a week ago to talk about it or whatever. I still see him like hyping it. I seen Jadakiss posting about
Yeah.
it the other day and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're going with
You
it.
got to double down on it. Yeah.
They're
Why is
really
he mad? I'm confused.
because we call him a scammer, basically. Like suggested that he's part of a scam.
But isn't he?
I mean, they're trying to like make it very clear that they don't consider it a scam. I mean, I guess you really you have to go to the artists involved and sort of see how they feel about it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you know.
I just think it gets blurry when it's like these people are thinking that this is actually the artist DMing them genuinely. It's not that it's disingenuine, but it is. It's someone's on your Instagram account acting like you're the game DMing artists.
I
you
mean,
know?
just think about how weird it must be to be that rapper, and now you have like 5,000 open DMs with all these random ass rappers that can hit you up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But now you have the primary tab and the general tab
I
in
love
your
those
DMs.
Love
right.
it.
I for a while I would respond to somebody who was kind of like a fan or whatever, and I put him in the general tab. I haven't looked at my general tab in probably a year.
Oh, shit.
So there's probably shit going on in there that I haven't seen.
You probably have death threats in there that you haven't even looked at.
Yeah, and sometimes I go weeks and weeks without even looking at anyone who's tried to DM me. So sometimes, because like the other day I went through it and I realized that Lil Bibby has DM'd me like 4 times over the past couple of years, and I never once saw it.
You threw him in the general?
No, it just
Oh.
the request. I just never saw the request. Which the request is like they're
There's a
sorted
pile up.
by who has the most followers at a certain
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This guy's like millions of followers, and I'm not seeing the Lil Bibby one. I'm trying to get Lil Bibby to do the interview right now. So
Wait,
That'd be good.
how is it? Is Twitter the same? I haven't been on Twitter in such a long time. I forgot how this works.
actually,
But
to be honest, the other day my Twitter changed. So now the DM requests, there's message. So you go to message requests and then look at the ones at the top requests.
oh yes, it's kind of like the same concept as the Instagram one.
Yeah, currently it's not showing me any of my top requests. Damn, are they really top requests? Like requests for top?
And that's what I was thinking. Yo, okay, so you know what was crazy? Right as Shoreline was like really taking off, and like I just remembered that like, okay, so I have this weird thing where it's like, like somebody before they get popping, but like y'all never really like, did business or whatever, and it's like you kind of like feel weird. You probably not you. You probably
you
don't
and
give a
Tyler?
fuck. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying like you probably feel weird like hitting them up, but like you don't. So anyway, I've been trying to like reach out to people that I fuck with like as soon as I fuck with them, just because I don't want to be like a year late and they're fucking super popping and won't even respond to
like
me.
BFB the Pac-Man?
I mean, I guess yeah. But look, so
He got shit on you.
this song coming soon. Anyway, so I went to go DM Phoenix about doing a song with me, right? This is on my old Twitter. And the only other message in there was a message from him to me in 2016 like, yo, let's work on some music.
You didn't know?
I never seen it
Hate
until
those.
I tried to go back and hit him up, and I was like, he's not gonna respond to me now.
Wow.
Shout
that
out to
is so
Phoenix
crazy.
flexing though, man.
Damn, I hate that fucking feeling too, and it happens to me all the time.
I felt so stupid.
You know what is the worst / kind of bittersweet feeling is when you find out that somebody got killed, and you go and you look at their DMs and you realize that they hit you up or that they followed you or whatever, and you're just like,
Damn.
oh man, like that legitimately like makes me feel a little tiny bit good that they like were, you know, that they cared enough to hit me up, but then it makes me feel horrible that I didn't fucking find out till the end, you know?
You know what was crazy? I also went through the same thing where I was just talking shit about some random clothes on my timeline, and it so happened to be someone who was in the city morgue camp, and then Zillakami responded to me and like was like, oh, like people look, what did he say? He said people looked at me like for fashion inspiration more than they do to you. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, damn, I really fuck with them. I didn't even know that this had anything to do with them. And then I like went on his Twitter and he was already following me, and I was like, damn, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I just felt stupid as fuck. And I was like, that's why you don't just sit on the internet and just talk shit for no
It's
reason,
always gonna
guys.
come back to you.
It'll come
Speaking
back
of,
to
I
you.
actually have a really good story I would love to dig into about you talking shit. But Josh, I need to be able to see the viewers and or the length time. I don't want to see the chat, but we got to be able to see the other stuff.
I've talked shit especially if it's about you. I'm sorry. I talk shit about you all the time.
Just pull it up and then drag it down. There we go.
All right.
Anyway, we're never going to do the episode where this person comes in and talks about what you did to them. But don't you think that now would be a great time to just talk about it?
Why are we never going to do it?
I mean, we could, but I feel like maybe he'll reach out and he'll have the conversation with us.
That.
All right. We might as well just talk about
So
it.
where was it? Tell us the place.
All right. So,
I'm gonna have to rewatch this to look at the chat
oh, man.
afterwards because I'm so excited for you to tell the story.
Oh, man. All
It
right.
really
Give
sums
us
up
the
what an
year and
asshole
the
you are.
place.
The year's 2016 or 2017?
I don't know.
I don't even
Doesn't
It was
remember.
on the Pump Tour.
It was
Yes.
on the
2017, I think. Yeah.
The year's 2017. We're on the No Jumper tour featuring Smoke Perp, Lil Pump, Adam 22, Cam Girl, House Phone, Rojas on the beat, and who else?
Desto Dub.
Desto Dub. Thank you, Fizzle.
Should have been on the T-shirt. Dub.
Very right. God, that would have been even more legendary
Oh,
tee.
man.
We're on the tour. I think we were on maybe our second or third stop. We're out in Oakland,
I think
right?
it's like third, yeah.
We're out in Oakland. Previous to even getting to the show, we had some kind of controversy going on where we had to have Desto Dub intervene and like, you know, make sure that that some of the artists on the tour were going to be good.
Which was, I also, by the way, I listened to the Smoke Perp album and they used the clip of the audio from the live show where Pump kicked the fucking kid in the
Seattle.
face. That is
Yeah.
actually on the Perp
It's-
album that
it's on the-
5,000 people have heard.
It's on the Off My Chest song. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we are in Oakland, right? This is this is the third show. So niggas have been doing drugs. We have been partying. We have been on the road, and we are in the midst of performing. Cam Girl's DJing. Adam are on stage with the mics talking shit. This kid hands me a CD in the middle of the set, right? I look at it. I was like, yeah, like, I'm gonna check it out, bro, or something. I get on the mic. I'm like, yeah, this nigga just gave me a CD. You know what we do to CDs? And I proceed to throw it on the ground and stomp on it. Now,
I think you might have cracked it and then stomped on it.
A random fan.
now,
Just wanted to promote his music.
now, let me just give my point of view of it. So, one, I was probably on Xanax. I'm just gonna just
Why are
be.
you trying to block
Definitely.
another young black man's dreams?
Okay, here we go. Okay,
He's
so
light skinned, for the record.
Young
very
light-skinned
very
black
light skin.
man.
That-
Okay,
partially-
wait, I'm
partially
gonna get to all that. So I was on Xanax. Two, it was more of like a joke, but
Also
at
a copious amount.
a copious amount of
copious
Xanax.
Not just one.
Not just one, for sure.
Copious.
Like,
all of you guys.
Yeah,
It was a fucking nightmare.
you probably were on.
I was on none Xanax.
You didn't take a quarter?
I don't know. You probably.
On the drive when I was sleeping, but not
Hey!
You're little as hell. That's like a whole bar.
Cam Girl after bars. Anyway,
Quarter.
so in the
bars.
moment, I was trying to make a joke because it was like, oh, we're in 2017. Like my fucking laptop doesn't even take a CD import. But in hindsight, going back and looking at it, it was like that was probably the shittiest thing I could have ever done to a random fan who was just trying to promote his music. But to be honest, I think I said to him, I was like, bro, you got to like make a SoundCloud or something because nobody's going to listen to a CD. And
Took your advice.
That was fair advice, honestly.
okay. It was super fucked up, right? I didn't think about it, but I remember some girl DM me and was like, yo, that was my friend that you did that to. That was really shitty. And I was like, I remember responding to this girl. I was like, you know what? I just thought about trying to be entertaining to the show. I didn't really think about how I was possibly like shitting on this kid's dream, even though I really wasn't. I wasn't trying. That wasn't the message I was trying to get
You're just
across.
trying to be funny.
I was kind of trying to be funny, but also give him advice like, yo, just do it, make a SoundCloud.
And I do think that is a fair conversation to have. Is if you make 1,000 people laugh, is it okay to make one person cry?
I mean, back then I would have thought that
It
was
kinda funny,
okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but like honestly, thinking back on it, I feel like such an asshole. So anyway, let me just get to the point. So years later, literally, I think this year, Cam Girl is playing me a song by this guy who I've heard of before, but I didn't really know too much about him. Right, this kid named 24 Karat Golden. So she's playing me his song, Bitch, I Go to USC. And remember I just said, right? I was like, oh, like if I fuck with something now, I feel more inclined to reaching out to people as soon as I am fucking with it. So I just sent the simple DM, Bitch, I Go to USC, like little like smoke emoji or whatever, right? Bitch, I Go to USC. I think the next day I receive a paragraph. He says, when I was 16, I came to the No Jumper show in Oakland and I gave you my CD and you stomped it out on stage. Literally the biggest mind fuck I think of anything that's ever happened to me in life. And I was like, holy shit, bro. And I apologized. And I was like, dude, you could have completely took this the whole other way and been like, fuck you for life. He was being so cool about it. He was like, dude, like, he said to me, I want to like go read the DM. He said to me specifically, he was like, it's okay because if you learned your lesson and you never do that to someone ever again, then
I will forgive you.
I mean,
you were like,
Look
I'm
at-
sorry.
Look at
No.
24K, like
No,
teaching
dude.
you life lessons.
No, dude, honestly, like that made me respect him so much because he could have just shitted on me. You feel me?
He is a super nice person from
He
everything
seems
I've
And
seen.
very
him.
nice.
and his fucking drip is super on point. And to be honest, I might have been the spark that really got him making music seriously or something.
That's very beneficial for you to
can't-
frame it that way. Yeah.
No. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I felt like I'd never wanted this story to come out, and I'm just like, you know,
I think it's great.
He literally
think
said, no. We're not gonna. I'm not framing it. He literally said, no hard feelings, bro. If anything, it motivated me to go even harder.
Aw.
Like Valentino.
I love that song.
Yeah, dude.
Valentino.
Hey, look,
Okay, but
wait.
is it-
Let me just
Okay, go.
let me just say, he definitely got the last laugh. Look at him now and look at me. He shitted on me in life. So there you go.
We think.
he got the
Who
last
knows?
laugh.
He got a new song out with Ian Dior, I noticed.
There you go.
I haven't heard it yet, but
Okay, wait. Let me just say. He said, if me sharing my experience makes you never do anything like that to anybody else again, that's a positive resolution to me.
Damn,
So
why is
bitch.
he so sweet?
Dude,
that's
he's
a
a
really
fucking
nice way
good
of
dude.
saying you are such a fucking prick,
Yeah.
but I will forgive you because you were born to be an asshole and maybe perhaps you can change.
He said everyone comes full circle, and like honestly, that made me feel even worse that he was so cool about it and wasn't like fuck you.
Right.
Because if he was like fuck you, then I would have been more inclined to be like fuck you too, nigga. You should have not gave me a CD. But
Then you could just diss him.
yeah, but like that made me feel
like
even shittier.
This story,
It made me really reflect on my whole life, and like it made me think about like, damn, have I ever done anything else to make someone feel like shit when I wasn't trying to? I've seen you make fans cry literally in front of me.
Doing what?
I don't know. You yelled at this one kid at the Real Street Festival, and he was so hurt about it.
Whoa, because he just kept getting up near me
Yeah.
and trying to talk to me or some shit. And I was like, get the fuck away from me, bro. Man, you have to be really fucking annoying to get that
Yeah, I'm not gonna
reaction from
lie.
me.
And he also was trying to smoke a blunt with us that it was in his back pocket, and
Wait,
he was
wasn't it this
in the mosh
small?
pit. Yeah.
Oh, he had the blunt
it
that
was
looked like a
squished.
vape pen
It was
because it was
squished,
so
yeah.
flat. I remember that. That was the name of the vlog. Was like, look how flat this blunt is or some shit.
But shout out to 24 Karat Golden, bro, for real, because that's a good kid right there, a
Does
good
this
stand-up
story
guy.
only end on a positive note because he's
Yeah.
24 karat now?
No, it could have. It literally could have been a random kid that still had like 1,000 plays or whatever. And if he would have said that to me, I would have had the exact same response. I'm
How
just
would
being
you
honest.
have felt if he was so offended and upset that instead he just went home and took 10 Xans and died?
Oh my god.
Why would you
how would
say
you feel?
that?
Well, I'm just saying, what if it went the other way?
Dude, that would have.
That would be horrible.
I would have wanted to take 10 Xans and die
And
too.
the
'cause
suicide
that's-
note said, I took these 10 Xans because Little House Phone broke my CD and stomped on it on stage, and now I am dead, and it is your fault.
I would have lived with that on my conscience for the rest of my life.
I hope it haunts you until the day you die.
No, I felt really
That's what it
bad
said.
afterwards. I'm
That's
not
what
gonna
The
lie.
note said that.
Yeah, dude.
You
I'm
already
not,
throwing a brick against the wall or what?
I don't know what's going on.
oh no, but I felt really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Damn. I know. I feel bad just thinking about it.
No, but
I mean,
I would really like him to come on the like. Obviously, we resolved it. It's all cool. I don't think he followed me back, but it's okay.
he's still a little bit mad.
just a little bit, but
You guys didn't get that far in your relationship
yeah,
just yet.
I would really like him to come on the podcast though and just talk about his side of that because.
Right.
You know, that's something that in the moment you think, oh, like people laughed or was like, oh, but I didn't think about how that was making this kid feel. And honestly,
Yeah.
I'm a shitty person.
Because it's like, even when we do the live streams, there's a certain point where it's like, we kind of got to laugh at this person. But
Right.
then is that just like, I don't want that
Yeah,
to
I
be a 24
know.
karat
If you had
situation.
listened to the tape, and I know this is totally
Oh,
implausible, but
yeah.
say you had taken a CD, put it on, listened to a song on stage, which, by the way, people would start walking out if you did this and played like a really bad song. Not his songs necessarily, but
Yeah, yeah.
if you played some random ass shit on stage, like people will start walking out.
That's
but
a fact.
if you had done that and said, okay, you suck. Everything about your music sucks.
No.
You got to fix shit up.
Yeah.
That would be at least like based on
The actual
the
music.
content.
It
yeah.
was more of like, yo, we are in a new age to where nobody's cars has a CD player anymore. Nobody laptop. You gotta switch it up and get a different way of promotion. Obviously, it worked, and look at him now.
No, because the actual advice about like how to distribute your music is 1000% good advice. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, my whole time being like a person who's known in the music industry, I've probably been given many hundreds of CDs, maybe thousands.
Yeah.
I have absolutely never listened to one of them. And not only have I never listened to one, I have never even thought about listening to one of them. I've never.
How could you?
The USB
I've
drives.
gotten a lot of USBs.
I do have a CD player in my car, and actually shout out to Huey Briss because at one point he gave me an Erica Badu CD, Baduism, and I actually listened to it many times in my car for some
Wow, that's
reason.
What?
crazy.
I don't know why.
You probably hated it.
but no, I liked it, but to be fair, I had already listened to it like in high school, so
What?
I already had like a
You listen
foundation
to
for it.
soul
That's
music?
crazy.
Neo
Shout out to
soul?
Huey Briss for that.
Look at you.
That was nice of him.
Wait. I actually said a bar in one of my new songs. I was like, I'm with my nigga Huey Briss. I said, I'm with my nigga Huey Briss all up on the north, and they ain't put me on the set because I was a dork.
Wait, what about the Wayfair bar that you wrote?
Oh,
Put a bitch in a closet, like
nah. Yeah, I be in the trap, but I don't stay there. I'm all about the jug, baby, like I'm Wayfair.
ooh,
Can we talk about
I
this?
like that. Well, it's not real.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they ain't ready for that. No. They ain't ready for all that.
They
No,
really
no.
not ready for all
We're
that.
gonna get on some Nick Cannon shit and just fucking start hitting y'all over the head with
They-
the fucking
we gonna
real
get,
truth.
We're going to get fired from YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna get kicked off once I start pronouncing my true QAnon values and shit. That actually happened to me. I was listening to the Nick Cannon and Professor Griff podcast. I pause it because I'm in the middle of a poker hand. I go to replay it. I'll skip
it's
back
taken
5
down?
minutes. Boom, it's gone.
Really?
And I already had pulled up Nick Cannon and Tariq Nasheed, who Tariq Nasheed is kind of like a lunatic, fucking crazy
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
And I really wanted to hear them talk because like Tariq is just so off the rails that I just wanted to know what their conversation would be like. That was gone too. So I'm like,
God damn. They just pulled his entire channel.
he took his whole channel down. Yeah, once he realized that.
I saw a re-upload of it, and they had to like change the audio and shit. But
Really?
I saw a re-upload.
Okay, so I'm very familiar with the backlash and what's been going on since, but I never heard the actual clip of what he said. What did he say about the Jewish community that was so offensive?
He was basically, him and Professor Griff are having this sort of like coded conversation.
I thought they were talking about white people at first.
I mean, they kind of are, but they also kind of like when people talk about like the evil elite, controlling white people, it's like sort of like a code thing for the Jews,
Yeah.
So it's not like they're saying like the Jews did this, they did this, but they are
They
like
kept
they're-
referring to them
very
as
much
the people in
implying it.
power. They.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, just so much of it though, like like the first thing that they said because I was writing a list of the things that they said that I wanted to then look up and analyze and like try to decide what my actual real opinion of the full conversation was. And this was before they took it down.
Yeah.
And so like the first thing is like, Nick Cannon and Professor Griff clearly agreed that the true Semitic people are black people and not the Jews. And I'm trying to Google it. And I'm having such a hard time even figuring out how that could possibly be a real theory because, like Semitic refers to the Semitic languages and
Yeah.
just whatever. And it just like, it doesn't make sense. Like the idea that like black people or people from Africa are like the true people that are supposed to have what the Jews have is like, It's so hard to wrap your head around. And this is kind of the thing, is that like it would be like if somebody tried to explain Christianity to me right now, and it kind of makes sense to me because I grew up on it.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like it makes no fucking sense. Like, how could anybody really go for this? But when you like actually like are introduced to it for the first time as an adult, it's like just so like wait, they seriously think that these things are true? It's kind of like baffling. No offense, anybody.
I mean,
also, can you close that door because it kind of drives me nuts being able to hear them.
Okay, so I think as far as like, I think when they're talking about like the sense of community and the sense of like how Jewish people stick together traditionally, and like they don't really like all in like the whole like Fairfax area, like they don't fucking like go out of like their community to like, you know, seek schooling and medical help. It's like everything is like in-house.
Very insular.
Yeah, and I think that I didn't watch what you're talking about, so I'm gonna just kind of throw out that maybe they were kind of talking about that aspect of it. And I'm not too educated on this, so I'm not going to sit here and try to like give my uneducated opinion, but it's something I definitely would like to do some research on.
I mean, I think everybody can agree that the Jews have definitely done something right, which is that they keep to them fucking selves. They make a shitload of money. They don't have that many vices that really seem to like affect them in a lot of ways. And they just do their own thing, which realistically, that's what a lot of like black activist people basically want for their culture, is to like institute social norms within their culture that are basically along the lines of what you see from like the Orthodox Jewish community,
and which would be nothing wrong with that, and it would actually give us a lot of more power and a lot more unity, and you know, like it's just me and Joey Fast were talking about this, about how it's so common for like young black kids, especially young black males, to like be like, oh, I left the house when I was 15, and like, you know, like I've been struggling and grinding ever since. And it's like a lot of other communities, they stick together for way longer, and they build like family wealth and family, you know, like they work together instead of being like, oh, I fucking got it on my own and I, you know, like left the hood and all that shit. And you
realize that especially when you go to other cultures, and you realize that they don't, like in America, we kind of fetishize the idea of leaving the nest at like 18.
Exactly.
Like
that's exactly what I was talking
about. I remember going to Mexico and just meeting these girls and realizing like, oh, this girl's like 27 and she still lives at home, and she doesn't think there's anything wrong with that because
their house is probably huge.
Right. in that culture, it's like they're all about the family. Why the fuck would you leave the nest until you were ready to get married?
Exactly.
It's like you really shouldn't necessarily be in a rush for that. I know myself, I was in a rush because I was so independent. I think that is the thing about Americans that makes us want to like split from our fucking parents as soon as possible.
And also think about this, you are from a very small town in the middle of nowhere, who you had a lot of like aspiring dreams that did not match up with the specific area that you were in, so you kind of had to get away. Definitely. If you didn't get away, you would not have built this the way that you did. Maybe you would still have some random rap podcast in Nashua.
Oh, all the best New Hampshire rappers would be on my podcast. It'd be amazing. Yeah.
And it's also embedded in our culture with like our parents being like, okay, once you're 18, you're out of here. I'm not paying for you anymore.
Oh yeah.
You know, but like Korean people, like you said, they live mostly at their parents' house until they get married.
If my daughter was 18, it's like you go to college. Or you get a serious job
and help pay rent or something.
You know, like you could stay at the house and shit if you really want. Well, actually, I don't know. Like when you think about like the Kardashians and stuff, I don't think they're like rushing to get. Like if you look at the lifestyles of rich celebrities, I don't think they're rushing to get people out of the house. But at the same time, you have to be doing something productive with your time if you want to continue to live at the house. Because if I lived in a giant fucking mansion and it was like completely up to me how much I got to see my parents and whatnot, then maybe that would seem a little bit more appealing. But when you grow up in like a smaller house or apartment, then you want to get the fuck out of there, because it's like me as like a 19-year-old like living in my mom's house. It's not like I was getting to just fuck girls. I was having to sneak them in the back door. Oh my god, it was rough.
Well, I mean, just think about it from my point of view now, where it's like, my nigga, I could easily go have a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment by myself over here in Hollywood or something, but it's like I'm kind of not even forced, like it's a bad thing, but like I'm forced to now stay home, and literally I'm like a fucking in-home nurse now.
Yeah, what's going on with your mom?
I don't really want to get all into it, like on the podcast, to be honest. It's kind of like personal, and I don't really want to get all into it, but it's
Health's
like
not great right now.
Yeah, and you know, it's like I'm at a point where my nigga, I literally like, and you know, I get the comments all fucking day. Oh, you fucking like, you know, I'm talking shit about something else in the comments. Like, you fucking live at home with your mom. I'm like, bro, I am paying my mom's rent and taking care of her. It's a difference between being a grown ass nigga who is just in the house leeching off of your parents and like, I'm like being my mom's fucking caretaker.
And it's also like if you live in LA or New York, most people who like turn 18, it's like your parents aren't expecting you necessarily to like get out the house and stuff, because how the fuck are you going to sustain like actual rent and being able to live on your own and everything if you live in extremely expensive places?
Yeah,
it's a little different when you live in fucking Minnesota.
Shit, at this point I could definitely afford to fucking be somewhere else, but it's not about that. It's like, it's about, you know, someone who my mother who took care of me my whole entire life is now in not the best situation where she needs someone to take care of her, and right. There's no one else to even take care of her.
I used to have this friend who like lives with his mom, and I would constantly have people saying to me like, oh, like you're friends with so-and-so, like why does he act like he's like doing good for himself and he lives with his mom? And I'd be like, his mom is like not doing good, and he like takes care of her. Like people are so
so hard to understand,
right? Like people are so judgmental. If my mom was like, if my dad wasn't around, or if my mom wasn't around, or whatever, I would gladly have one of my parents fucking live with me, and I would feel great about it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Americans do have some kind of like weird fucking values pressed into their brains about living with your parents, I think.
And like honestly, I think that my mom is so grateful that I'm around to help her, because nobody else would do it, bro. You know, and it's just like.
Do it.
Yeah, it's like she keeps like thanking me, and I'm like, dude, you don't need, like, this is not even a no-brainer thing for me. Like, it's nothing for you to thank me about. It's just like, we gotta just do what we gotta do.
Wants to show her appreciation.
No, I know. It's just, I don't know. I've known my mother my whole life to be just like the strongest, most independent like woman. So I know this is like a little like hard for her, and it's probably overwhelming and like a little embarrassing about some of the shit that's like happened, and I've had to witness, and I know she doesn't want me to see her like that, but like. I would rather be the one at home taking care of her than like some shitty caretaker who's dropping her on the floor and shit like that. Like the shit that she told me that she went through when she was in the hospital, I was like, I haven't cried that hard in a long ass time, bro. That shit just broke me down. Like,
taking care of your parents when they're in bad health is like the inverse of them taking care of you when you're young.
I've been saying that to her literally for the past 4 days. I'm like, you cleaned me up.
Right.
You cleaned me up when I was a baby, bro.
Yeah, because that's why I don't understand people that, you know, put their parents in like not retirement homes. What is it, like old people homes and stuff like that? It's like, I don't.
But I'm watching the Sopranos right now. We're like almost 2 seasons through of it, so we're about to start the 3rd season, and it's kind of like his mom gets to the point where she's falling down, she's fucking starting fires in the house by accident. I know it's not real, but you know, there's like all this like bad shit happening. They have to put her in the fucking old folks home, but then she orders a murder on Tony Soprano, her own son, which is a little different. Hopefully your mom doesn't go that far.
Hopefully my mom. I don't think my mom knows anyone that will order a murder on me.
Yeah, she actually sends two African American gentlemen too, which is it's at least cool of her that she's supporting the culture,
the community.
But she basically sends them to kill him, and then they
okay. You know another reason why I would never put my mom in a like old folks home or whatever. You know,
because you've seen Happy Gilmore.
No, you know Reese.
Oh my
Reese
God.
used to work in an old folks home.
Oh my God, I've seen the pictures.
Reese used to work in an old folks home, and he would just be doing the most crazy nonsense.
Just
like,
what? Think about what kind of people are working there taking care of your fucking dying parent.
Oh yeah, God, I'm so good on that. Shout out to my boy Reese, by the way.
I feel like I'd rather be
he wasn't doing anything that crazy.
If you are like I feel like if I was going to put one of my parents in an old folks home, I would want it to be a really top-notch old folks home, just so that they would do background checks hard enough to realize that Reese was not one of the employees. Like anything they could do to just make sure that the people working there are not doing ketamine at house parties. No offense to Reese, allegedly. Then that would be like a big priority for me, you know, especially in this day and age. Like, you know, like one thing I was seeing is like, okay, so they're closing all the public schools. So everybody who's got some money, what are they doing? They're pooling their kids together and creating like co-quarantine things. So it's like you get one teacher, she comes to one person's house or whatever, and then maybe you have 6 different families and they each have a kid, and they are basically creating these little like independent schools with really small classroom sizes. And I've seen some people suggesting like, how is public schooling going to recover from this once people realize that, like, so say that they end up paying the teacher say it's 5 families, and they're each paying the fucking teacher $20,000 a year. So this teacher's feeling pretty good. Like, okay, I'm getting $100,000 a year. That's more than I would make working at a normal school. To the parents, yes, that is like a significant amount of money, and a lot of like broker people clearly could not afford that. But like presumably a lot of people in Hollywood and shit, like that's nothing to them. So like once this system becomes kind of normal, then why the fuck are people going to put their kids back in school?
I don't think that it can be normal for that point, that not everyone can afford it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. But then that's the problem, is that it creates way more like income disparity in terms of like, then you have broke ass people, like broke ass young kids who are getting horrible educations because their parents don't have time for it.
That's already happening.
That's everybody right now. But now people are starting to like create these little like
even public
cells.
schools.
Oh yeah, I mean, bad schooling in general. Yeah. But that's going to change everything. I don't know how I just got on that.
No,
topic,
that was good, bro.
Yeah.
Honest, like.
I mean, aren't they lobbying to try to open the schools back up?
Some
or
places
they've been doing that.
Did you see that they were trying to implement who goes back to school? Like, I don't know if this was in a specific state, but they were implementing that they were introducing the kids back into school by race, where like the white kids were ordered to stay home first, and as the colored kids went back first.
Colored? We're saying colored now?
I mean, because it wasn't just black kids. It was
God,
like
that's insane.
I posted this on my Instagram story. I think yesterday.
So they're doing that so they can make sure it's safe for the white kids to come back.
Basically, it sounds insane, right here.
I mean, I want to know the source for this.
I'll find you. It was like on like a Fox News thing.
I believe Fox News about everything. That makes sense to me. Damn.
Here, I'm gonna find it for you
Also,
right
speaking
now.
of Fox News, isn't there like anchors fucking in sexual assault trials and shit?
I'm so skeptical
I don't
about
know.
this shit. Tucker Carlson fucking told somebody they were hot 12
Okay, you
years
ready?
ago or something. I don't know.
All right, you ready? All right.
Oh, homie came through with the news.
State education officials are considering letting students go back to school on the basis of their race. Non-white kids would get to go back first, while white students would be ordered to stay home until the virus subsides. Now, you may have thought
It is Tucker Carlson, for the record.
were eliminated with the Brown versus Board of Education decision 65
What?
years ago. But no, it's all coming back. The teacher-
Well, there it is.
There it is.
That's insane.
Must be real. No, I
If Fox News said it, it must be real.
wait, just listen to this. This is what I was looking for before that I didn't play.
Biggest rappers.
Oh, this is from No Jumper News, but just peep the quote that she has right here.
Renee said that she made Doug wait a year before having sex and then proceeded to speak on the size of his butt.
It's the last bitch that I'm going to entertain. I can't argue with no nigga that's thicker than me. I'm not about to keep doing that. I'm not arguing with no fat booty nigga. Like, I could sit a cup on that bitch. I could sit a cup
Hey,
on
she's
that
bad as fuck too.
I could sit a cup
Wait,
on
that's
that
his.
ass.
That's his baby mama.
That's his baby mama, or no, ex-girlfriend that he was with before he got famous and presumably rich.
Oh man.
Follow No Jumper on TikTok. We lit on there, but she says, I could sit a cup on that ass. Like, whoever she is a fucking comedic genius because
Yeah.
her timing and the way that she says that, like, I actually really would like to know her at. Everybody comment her at, because I would love to do a deep dive into
No,
exactly
and the
what she's all
tone
about.
and how she
Yeah,
delivers.
that was hilarious.
The fact that
a
she's
fucking
shitting
stand-up
on,
comedian.
she's shitting on him for his butt size. Like, this is
For
your
being
ex-boyfriend. We don't even know what he did that she doesn't like. She's just calling him thick and saying he has a big butt. I can't.
That's, like, so disrespectful.
I can't argue with no thicker
Nigga.
than me.
No nigga thicker than me.
I mean, like, who? Like, she is a marketing genius, whoever this girl is. I don't know. Speaking of marketing geniuses, did you take a look at my sex tape? I didn't actually send you the OnlyFans link, but you guys watched the vlog?
I watched the vlog. Why would
You didn't want to see the OnlyFans?
Why would I want to see your dick and your pregnant girlfriend? And also, hey, I'm gonna be honest.
I'd watch you fuck someone.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know
You said
Trisha.
you have watched him?
I
He
would.
said he would.
God.
I'm not gonna lie. Trisha Paytas was kind of fine.
Super beautiful.
I didn't know this.
Do you think she's hot?
Yeah, I love her.
There
I
was
didn't-
a moment, yeah, when I was looking at her where I'm like, you know what? I don't feel bad about this at all.
She's
I'm
super
definitely gonna
pretty.
smash
People were trying
this.
to roast you about it. I think that was okay. No.
The booty was round.
the
I
funniest
could sit a
thing.
cup on that ass.
The funniest thing that happened in that whole vlog was her saying that she had Xanax, and you kind of got a little spark. Like you got happy, and Lena was.
I felt it in my brain. Like,
You're like,
Xanax?
and then
magic
and
of Zen. Oh,
Lena,
God.
Lena like drove right in and was like, no,
Nope. Yep.
he he loves Xanax, but he doesn't need that. And then she was like, and Trisha was like, wait, aren't you hip hop?
I know. I laughed so hard because in her mind she has no idea how racist that is. But that it was kind of like it's like a little kid saying
It was
because
literally
she just
the
has
funniest
no idea
thing.
that was.
I didn't even take it as like a racist thing. I just took it as like a just rap in general of like face tattoos and Xanax.
Just hilariously vague stereotype
That was
of the culture.
Funniest thing, I think. Like that was hilarious. And like her house had so many murals and paintings of herself. It was crazy.
She told me, because literally there's a security guard who sits in his car 24 hours a day in front of her house. And I'm like, so what is happening? Because she lives like fucking not that far from me. I'm like, what is happening?
You got to stop saying that because they're going to just figure out where you live.
No,
too.
we live like a mile or two away from her. But like, she fucking told me that a guy came to her house with his kid and a gun.
Oh my God.
And that she called the cop, like she had to hide or some shit. And that like the cops like came and like they wouldn't arrest him because of Corona or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in your life, dude?
Yeah, from all the interviews I've watched from her, her life sounds fucking insane.
It's crazy. She has like so much money. She has like a fucking $500,000 car in the garage and she just films YouTube videos in the back of it.
But that's crazy that like her. That's crazy that her shit is like getting to that point to where you have to, first of all, you have to hire security that sits in front of your house 24/7.
I know.
But it's like, what was he trying to do? He's like, was this guy coming with the kid and the gun to be like, you either gonna like meet my kid and give them an autograph or I'm gonna kill you?
I'm really not sure.
Did he brandish the weapon?
I don't know, but the gun and the kid together is the really shocking part. Like I
Yeah.
could see somebody showing up with their kid because people do that all the time, or showing up with a gun. But the kid and the gun is like
the
whoa.
combo.
And then the cops not arresting is crazy. You would think that even CPA would come and be like, okay, nope.
Anyone
Anyone
going to someone else's house with a gun seems like, but now that's
and a kid.
That's a couple different YouTubers I know because I went to Logan Paul's house and boom, he had security out in front of his house too. They were just sitting
like-
there chilling all day.
I think something about being a YouTuber and showing your life and like getting a glimpse
Yeah.
of like who you are just makes
People-
people just want to like really get to know you in real life.
And
It's kinda
especially when you
scary.
have some significant percentage of people who really fucking hate you, which is the case with Logan Paul and Trisha, that like if you know you sort of attract that sort of crazy guy energy, like we saw it with me and the guy who put the gun in my face at the store or whatever. I'm lucky that hasn't really like crept over to my personal life or whatever. But
What does she do where people hate her as much as they hate Logan Paul?
talks a lot of shit about David Dobrik and like the other YouTubers.
Oh, because she used to be in their crew.
She was dating this fucking dude, Jason.
Oh, God, I
and
remember that.
I don't know
during
anything about this.
Jason
story.
is like David Dobrik's best friend. You know who David Dobrik
Yeah,
is?
yeah, of course, of
So
course.
like,
He's like the old guy in the group.
yeah, she was
He's their old guy in the group.
right, but
Okay.
except Jason is like the funny like co-host guy, and then David is like the young fun guy, like kind of like what I used to be before I got old and decrepit. But anyway, he like
So I'm David Dobrik and you're the old dude.
No, he's trying to
Yuri's David
establish
Dobrik.
the line, being like, well, but I'm the star of this.
well, I'm kind of like the leader of it, but David Dobrik is young and full of energy, and I'm like old, and I just want to go to bed.
His fucking vlogs are amazing, and that was
So funny.
something that I was never.
But if you watch his older vlogs, Trisha's all up in him, and she's funny as fuck. Because the whole thing with David Dobrik is that like his vlogs are not that much of himself.
Yeah,
it's mostly
featuring
just look at
The
this
characters.
look at this network of people all around me that are funny as fuck, and we'll just like make the vlogs about them saying funny things. And Trisha was kind of like the star of the show for a while. She was always doing some crazy shit.
I love her.
And then at a certain point, she broke it off with them and everything. But
And
it's
then she
weird.
just-
Like a lot of people hate Trisha, but me and Lenny get along with her so good. She's like one of
You
the
guys-
funniest people I know.
Yeah, you guys seemed like you had really good chemistry. I don't know if that transferred over sexually, but
Yeah, it was cool.
I don't want to know.
No, it was all right.
No, and
He
then,
group chats us
then
and, like,
people, he's like, watch this.
watch this.
I was like, I got
me
the
know if you want the
OnlyFans
OnlyFans
link.
link.
If
He
y'all
was like,
want
you
it.
have to watch it. House phone.
But I was like, House Phone, you have to watch it. Kim, you do not have to watch it because it is sexual in nature.
Also, people don't like Trisha for things she said in the past on her on her vlogs. and
She was
stuff
a
like
Trump supporter. I don't think she
But
really
she's
like
done some crazy
realized
stuff.
how
She
that would be
is
perceived.
so tan to the point where I almost, because I don't know anything about this woman. If I didn't see the other pictures of her clearly being a white woman in her house, I would have almost thought she might have been black or mixed.
I'm pretty sure that
she was that tan.
a lot of the wigs that she wears are wigs that like she's the only white person who has ever worn this kind of wig. Like I think it's
You
What,
mean
like
like
with dreads?
well, no, not like a fucking
She has a dreaded
Jamaican,
wig.
like red. The
You're
hat
making
with
me
the-
crazy, man.
No, but like a lot of the wigs that she wears are just like not the kind of wigs that you're used to seeing on a white person. So like that really kind of like adds to it and makes her look a little more.
She was really tan. Like like she was darker than your what's Lena again?
Armenian.
She's darker than your Armenian girlfriend.
Yeah, I actually want to find out what Trisha looked like when she was like really young because I've only been familiar with her for a couple of years, but some of the pictures of her on the wall, I started to be like, oh, that was her like a long time ago. So maybe I need to go back into the
some of the
archives.
some of the pictures on the wall. That's when I was like, oh, she's clearly a white woman.
And she eats like her whole channel is her just eating food and just like
fire.
slobbering over like a plate of pasta and talking the whole time. You've watched it, right?
Yeah.
And we did one with
She
her
got them
when-
titties out while she's doing that.
Her fast food ones are crazy. She'll order like 20 things and eat it all. I'm like, how
I would
is
watch a
one
video.
person doing
I would
this?
watch a video of her with her really nice boobs out, eating food and
I think
spilling
she
them
does that
onto the
on like
boobs.
OnlyFans.
That would be amazing, actually.
Probably
yeah.
haven't been on her OnlyFans. Man, this
Oh,
Jimmy.
you're trying to give us your OnlyFans link?
I was gonna get you a trial to Lena's
Oh, no, I
so
don't
that
want
you were
that. I
able
thought
to
you were
view
gonna- I
just
thought
the Trisha and Adam content.
Why
I didn't
the
want
fuck would
you
we-
are not allowed to watch it. You are out of this conversation.
Why are you trying to show me
In the
your
meantime, I'm gonna go to the
pregnant-
restaurant.
I just don't know why it's such a big deal that like I would like if you told me like yo I got a video of me fucking this girl I'd be like all right
Okay,
send that,
if
send
me
that.
if me and Sarah Molina started the
I'm in.
OnlyFans,
Give it to me.
I would
Boom.
send it to you.
Hand it over.
I will say she did give me the follow back and responded to the DM.
Boy.
So even though you shot me down, it might still be in the works. I don't know.
Bro, you could be in the same spot that 6ix9ine.
I don't give a fuck about
that.
that. I thought that she was fine since the first day I ever laid eyes on her.
We don't know what made Daniel Hernandez a star, but her pussy has to at least be part of
It
it.
might- yeah, for
You're
sure.
gonna get some of that on you, and then the the ideas are gonna start flowing. You're gonna get HIV positive shirt and shit like he had, the bitch ass N-word shirt that he had. You're gonna get all that drip.
She was with him all that time, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of making me judge her.
He was putting babies inside her and shit.
They
dude.
just have one daughter, right?
Where do you buy Fronto and Burbank? We don't know.
I mean, I could have took them to a good smoke shop. That's why you got to have me around when Sarah Molina comes around.
Oh yeah, here's our what do they call it? The hotel, the concierge.
Our Fronto correspondent.
Our Fronto concierge. Yeah, he could take you down to the ketamine spot down the block too. What were you doing this weekend? You doing anything fun?
Okay, so this was like my last weekend of freedom before I had to turn into a in-home nurse. And I went on a crazy bender that did not start off like that. I definitely was on my YSL shit. Like I woke up with the brand new canister and empty things. Like,
And
next
you
to
were
my
like,
bed.
wow, I must have did all this.
Did you go on live and say slat?
Schlat. It really is like that. I was watching Duke do a verse, and he had like a separate part in the verse where he was fucking
That's
hitting
fire.
the thing like crazy to make his voice different.
No, that sounds amazing.
Or I'm thinking in my head though, I'm like, do you really think your voice sounds different here, or do you just
It
really
does.
want to hit that thing mad times?
Oh yeah,
no, it definitely does.
It was
something.
definitely like a balance of both.
You get like really high pitched?
Sort of. It's like kind of like
Yeah.
gurgly and like I don't know.
It's
like,
like,
all
it's like a yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
a
So
movie.
for my birthday, I was going to rent an Airbnb and throw like an invite only BYOC bring your own canister or
Cocaine.
BYOB bring your own balloon party because I was going to shoot the video to that Whip It song that
bring
I
your
have.
own cokehead, bitch.
No, I was more referring to the Whip It song that I have.
So
And
you're
I was,
gonna have a whip it party.
for the music video, but I don't think I'm going to go through with that idea anymore because I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on like, do you want to like make a potentially poppin' viral song, or do you want to be responsible for like thousands of kids losing their lives due to this drug that you're
I
promoting?
don't know about that.
Thousands. It's not that deadly. Not that many people die from it.
That's what I was saying, but still, I'm just at this weird fork in the road, like
Oh my God,
morally.
he's growing up.
Well, my nigga, I'm first of all, you know that I thought that I was turning 26 this whole time, when I'm actually turning 27.
You forgot how old you were?
I swear to God, bro.
Eh,
I thought that I was turning.
That's when you know you're old.
Nah, because that's one, and then also two, I don't really set like. I'm such a self-centered person where I'm like, if someone doesn't take the time to throw me a party, or come to me at least with the idea of a birthday
Then I'm
party,
not gonna do
I'm
it.
not gonna throw my own birthday
Me
party.
neither.
Why
I
the
would
fuck would I
never
do
have
that?
my own.
Yeah, I organized your last year's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. See, I didn't even remember.
If it wasn't for Lena, I would never have acknowledged my own birthday publicly, like since No Jumper
Yeah, so
started.
last year I turned 26, but
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize that though. I thought I turned 25.
God damn, we're so old.
We're old, bro.
You're faded.
I'm
You're burnt.
yeah, I know. So
Or you are gonna do
toasted.
something, or you're not gonna do something.
no, I don't think so. I don't want to be
2020 is canceled.
I don't
anyways.
want to be responsible for anybody getting sick. I don't remember we were talking about how like, oh, you're going to get drunk and then all the safety precautions are going to go out the window.
Everyone's just gonna start making out.
I mean,
that's facts.
You know who had a party this weekend? I thoroughly enjoyed watching on Instagram story.
Who?
Frosty the
Oh
Snowman.
my
He
god.
has the best Instagram stories. When he went to Vegas, oh my god, he honestly would be like the best vlogger because his whole recap of his Vegas experience, someone uploaded the whole thing and they made it like Frosty the Snowman Vegas vlog, and I was like, this is literally a vlog.
Frosty the Snowman. Number one, I posted a clip of him,
That was
like
so
the
funny.
demon clip. He was making the
So
craziest face. Go to the No Jumper Instagram, like and comment until you hit the Frosty the Snowman post because I'm very proud of it. Whoa! And I also tagged him, and he was like hanging out with girls at the party and then posting them on his story and then calling them dust heads and talking about how gross they are and making fun of their champion shoes and shit.
That bitch had some champion sneakers on twerking. That was crazy.
What's he say?
With like a
Oh,
leotard. She had a leotard,
and a Gucci
belt over the leotard and champion sneakers.
Frosty's new thing too is he doesn't say on Bloods, he says on the B team.
On B team, on Flaming.
B-Team.
On Flaming. Yo, he's literally the funniest
So
nigga.
funny.
It's like he just sits around coming up with new slang. and
Or like the whole first place, like last
Oh
place
my
shit. That shit is
God.
hilarious. He's literally
He's
one of the
so
funniest.
funny.
he's just filming himself walking down the street, just like showing his
Shirt
face. Like,
off.
look, I'm just walking. I'm just out here walking. Like I don't need on the B team. I'm just walking.
No.
I'm walking.
He just-
Another hilarious thing is he picked up some homeless guy and then he gave him like a what is it called?
A lineup?
A lineup and like dressed him like Frosty.
Wait. Is that the one that he took to the hotel and then
think so,
they
yeah.
went into the bank and got the money and all that
Yes,
shit?
yes.
I need to watch his
He's
story.
running-
The
Boy,
picture
bro.
after,
lit.
the
Bro, dude, I have
after
to show
picture
you
where
this
he
right
turned
now.
him into what Frosty the snowman.
Bro, he's
Whoa.
he's literally okay. I don't want to reveal the sauce, but he's definitely busting bank plays with random homeless niggas. It's fucking hilarious, bro. He's literally the best fucking Instagram, bro. He's fucking amazing, bro.
That's
Shout
so
out to
sick.
Snow Gerb,
He
man.
is just like a hilarious.
this is him.
fucking
This is
human
him right
being.
here.
He's underrated human being.
No, but
He dressed homie up just like him.
no,
huh?
but you should have saw when they were in the hotel together. They were riding around smoking a blunt, and there was like a video of this guy in the. I'm snitching right now.
I'm terrified.
No, this
of
was
being
on
around
Instagram.
homeless
I'm not-
people,
It's on
man.
Instagram.
I don't know if he was homeless, but it might have just been like some old nigga that they put on. Was like, yo, he's down to go bust his bank play.
Bro,
I
if
definitely think he was homeless.
if it was up to me, the cops would not watch this podcast. I don't think they got it in them. They don't have enough resources down at the
Yeah.
LAPD. Maybe like one cop happens to listen to it and kind of tells everybody else what he hears.
Did I ever
I
tell
think
you
they would
this?
sit there and watch a 2-hour-long podcast where we talk about like it's not like we talk about one person the whole time, you know.
There's very
It's like a
little crime
rotating-
discussed, really, unless they wanted to catch one of us specifically. By the way, I just want to throw this out there: is that AD wanted to be here because AD has a story about basically a rapper that got knocked out by not him.
Is he really a rapper
I
though?
like that you're referring to him as a rapper. That's
It
nice
is
of
what
you.
it is. I don't know. I'm just like depending on AD because I don't want to be the one to air this story out because I don't want to aggregate any issues.
You already posted like who do you think it is?
I alluded to it. People could put it together if they wanted to, but AD is ready to air this shit out. I don't know if I should call him or not, but he does want to. He wants to put the
They
rap
knocked
game on
him out
blast.
because he's rich, right?
They, all right, I'm calling
It's
him.
because
man.
he's rich.
You're making it
'Cause
too
he's
obvious.
rich.
I'm calling him.
How long was that up for?
I'm gonna say, hey AD, this is Adam 22 from the
No Jumper
from the
podcast.
Joe
All right.
Budden podcast. Let's see if he picks up. He always gets mad because he says I don't pick up when he calls me.
I don't think you. I would never expect you to answer.
He's
any
like,
call.
you clock out at 8 p.m.
I felt
I like
that.
stop responding to calls at a certain point.
I believe it.
Black man.
Hey,
What up, black man?
This is Adam 22 from the Adam 22 No Jumper Little House Phone Cam Girl podcast. How's it
I
going?
don't know what it's called.
Nigga, you know you called?
Huh?
You just called that. You called AD, fool.
No, I know. That's why I want to talk to AD. You.
What's up, man?
We were just talking about
him
you.
he's on
And
air.
oh yeah, you're on air, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was announcing what we were from.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking
on, man.
All right, so I know you have something that you wanted to air out. You want to tell us anything about any acts of violence?
Wait, Aaron. Not airing out. Somebody told a lie, cuz.
What was the lie?
Somebody lied and said that me and OT Genesis and our friends jumped somebody.
And the part of the lie is the jumping.
The part of the lie is the jumping. The nigga got hit one time. He went to bed. We let him leave with all his jewelry. We escorted him out. It was all good.
Who was this?
I'm not gonna tell you on air because I don't want no legal shit going on with the homie. There's no cause it's a popular YouTube nigga, yeah.
Can you ask him if he did it because he's rich?
Did you do it because he's rich? That's what we heard.
Who?
The person. We heard that you beat him up because
Yeah.
he's rich.
That's
we didn't know that nigga had no nothing. I didn't know the nigga was.
Yeah, I know. Because I basically had to tell you the other day.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, but
That's why niggas responded the way they responded because we seen the tweet like, what, nigga, ain't nobody jumped you, nigga.
okay,
I
but
hit one time and your ass went flying.
but why? What happened that fisticuffs were necessary?
fisticuffs.
Okay, so we had OG birthday party and fucking OG walks in his room. The nigga's just in his bedroom.
Doing what? Smelling the boxers or
Smelling
I
his
don't know
draw.
what that nigga was doing, but you know, bro told her like, hey, you know, what you doing in my room? And the nigga tried to get loud, and then it was
Yeah, that's OC Genesis is not the nigga you need to get loud with, and you're in his room.
He hit the nigga one time, the nigga turned to a little noodle, cuz. And we had to wake that nigga up.
God damn.
Like 30 minutes later, he woke up and he said, what happened?
30 minutes?
You know what happened?
You might have killed that
was
nigga.
out cold, cuz.
30 minutes is scary. I would have called the hospital.
Probably
Yeah.
died. for
Or
30
the
minutes.
ambulance.
Fuck it. When
I
he
would've
was
called the
out,
hospital.
he would've died.
Shit's going
We had
on.
to get rid of his fucking body.
Drag the body
They
into
get rid of the body.
into the field, bury it. That's fucking-
One of the most famous YouTubers. Bodies goes missing.
Bro, if you buried a body in the woods, then that's a way worse crime than punching somebody.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, at the end of the day,
He could have got away from
He
like.
didn't die though. At the end of the day,
I'm glad he's okay.
I mean, I just
alive and well.
this story was bubbling. It was going to come out. Some people at home probably still don't know who we're talking about. They're going to have to consult the comments, I suppose.
Y'all didn't hear it from me. I cannot deny or clarify anything.
How many drinks in are you right now?
Right now, only 2.
Okay.
Also, where are you? I thought you were supposed to be here.
I wasn't supposed to be there. Listen, Adam didn't text me and say come Tuesday. I
Oh.
thought the cam girl was sick. You feel me? So I said, you know, I'll come and do the substitution if she's not feeling well. No one texted me, so they said, fuck that nigga. We gonna keep it going.
We were afraid that if you came in, you were going to knock Cam Girl out
You wouldn't.
For looking rich.
Cam girl.
for looking rich.
Me and Houseful got a little beef right now.
Hey, that's a fact.
Really?
We do got a little beef. We can't talk about this on air either.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I
Actually-
heard you guys were trying to insinuate like a romance between me and House Phone.
Yeah, y'all gotta relax.
That was weird.
That was really weird. I defended our friendship.
Thank
Don't
you,
worry about
thank
it.
you.
If y'all got married, we can all be a real family.
Now me and Sarah Molina is the new
power
power
couple.
couple.
AD met her too. 6ix9ine's baby mama.
You let AD.
Oh yeah.
She just for the hey
Oh, you want her?
hey for the record, AD. She asked about me on the podcast
I mean, hey, you
interview.
a nice looking guy, man. No homo.
Hey yo, hey,
And
you
then-
know what?
And then Adam shitted on House Phone.
Hey, cuz, did you hear this nigga Adam just throw me under the bus? I'm about to send you the video right now, bro. He shitted on me, bro. Bro, so she brought me up and he was like, oh, no, you don't want that. He talks about being with a different girl every week. And she was like, oh, yeah, he's trouble.
Oh, that's hater move. Why would you do that?
No, she was asking if he had a girlfriend. I said it's different every week.
No.
I don't know.
No. You supposed to say I don't know.
You supposed to be like, yo, that's the homie. He's a very
Don't do me like that, nigga. If you see me go, I'm shooting for the stars.
You're in a relationship, so I'm definitely not throwing you any pussy.
I'm about to hang up, girl.
All right, I'll see you
right,
Thursday.
AD.
All right, bro.
Later, dog. Okay, so and the weird thing about this though is that he really, really wanted to put that out into the world, as you could probably tell by us being forced to post the OT Genesis clip the other day.
Strong armed into posting the clip.
I have nothing against the person who was allegedly knocked out. I just want to know.
He doesn't feel that way.
I want to know the details about the situation so bad.
Was he like trying to steal something? Why were you in his room?
Why are you in this
And
room?
was it? And
was
was it
he
his?
there with like a girl or like I
They,
just wanna
they said
know.
it solo. Also, they said he was knocked out for a half hour. That sounds
That's
like
kinda
a
crazy.
dead human being. Like, how are you knocked out for a half hour?
What's a normal amount to be knocked out?
Like a
a
couple
minute,
minutes?
right?
Like a minute is a long ass knockout from like a punch to the face. Like
Yeah.
a minute is like if House Phone got in a fight with someone and was knocked out for a minute, I'm gonna be sweating. Like, oh my, like is he gonna be normal
call
when he
the
comes back to
hospital.
life? You know, call the hospital.
if you
Yo,
see
some
me-
shit happens.
Wait, if I get knocked out, you mean if I knock somebody else out? Fuck
Oh
you
yeah,
mean.
yeah, that
If
way.
you see me in a fight with a grizzly bear, help the bear!
Who was that? I forgot.
Mystical. If you see me in a jungle with a grizzly bear, help the bear!
It was so loud.
Mystical got one of the most obnoxious flows. I'm gonna be totally real with you. So partially it's fire, partially it's just like, oh, it's a lot.
I love it, dude.
I don't know
I can't believe that resurfaced because that was like an old thing that TikTok brought back.
that exact clip.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a TikTok thing.
You're on TikTok?
No, but I've seen it on Instagram.
No Jumper, 140,000 TikTok followers.
What kind of stuff do you guys post on there?
It's mostly just like the news and pieces from the podcast. Like there's definitely podcast clips of you on the TikTok that have
wow.
many hundreds of thousands of views.
Oh, speaking of Sarah Molina, she also was like, I know who Cam Girl is already. Who is the other? Who's the guy?
I like her a lot.
Yeah, shout
I
out to
really
her.
like her.
Imagine me and her doing TikToks together.
OnlyFans.
I wonder, would you move to New York?
I would definitely no. She would have to come here so she could be a part of it. Okay, if okay, in theory, if we got together and she moved to
I'm painting
LA,
this picture.
if she moved to LA, then like she would be more of a reoccurring guest on the show.
Yes, move to Compton with her
Why Compton?
just to keep it real.
We gonna move out here to the valley.
That'd be cool too. I just like the idea of her like waking up to that Compton sunshine every day.
The Compton. What's the difference
Why
between
the
the
Compton
sunshine,
sunshine?
the sunshine in Compton in the valley?
It'd be cool if you moved to New York though, and you lived in the dog pound with her, like the same
do you mean,
same
the
place
dog
the
pound?
fucking 6ix9ine used to live at and shit.
Pretty sure she does
I'm
not
probably-
live there
I'm pretty
anymore.
You don't
Yeah.
live at the dog pound.
I hope she doesn't. Why are you calling it the dog pound?
Yeah.
Because when Snow Billy was on here, he kept talking about how 6ix9ine used to be at the dog pound, which was like the 9 Trey Blood hangout that he allegedly got jumped into the Bloods at.
So 6ix9ine got jumped in.
I believe, yeah, they dogged him out a little bit.
They probably
You
went.
could sit a cup on that ass.
I was looking at her Instagram. You could definitely sit a cup on that ass. I didn't know she was. Okay. Anyway,
Stop.
No, yeah, you could probably put a cup on there. She's cup worthy.
she's ring worthy.
Where did she come up with this term? Is that like a thing that people do, put cups on people's asses?
Yeah.
Man, he's from Detroit. You know he's from Detroit.
Who?
42 Doug.
Really? I didn't know
Isn't
that.
that crazy?
He
'Cause-
sounds like he's from.
Don't you feel like you know about all the poppin' like underground rappers in Detroit?
Yes.
Well, apparently they found one before what we found out about him. It's kind of fucked up.
Speaking of one, I got one dissing me right now.
Oh yeah, BFB.
BFB
Coming
the
for you.
Pac-Man.
You about to shit down your throat.
Man, he dropped a preview of a diss song towards
Actually
me
sounded
today.
really good.
I'm ready, man.
If it wasn't about me, I would have been more hyped. But I was like, what the fuck? I just woke up. He said that I'm not plugging him with No Jumper, but when in fact I actually shout him out on this podcast a lot.
You're what is it? You're the gatekeeper that's blocking all the black men.
Yeah, he said
He said that?
he said how you another black man, but you don't want to see me eat.
Ooh.
I think he's eating.
Oh,
Everything. Whoa!
That was fire, Cam girl.
That jokes, huh? That's how we doing it?
Yeah, so
damn.
just know BFB the Pac-Man diss coming.
Look at Cam Girl
Tonight.
getting that Visco girl on with this flask.
At least you have that over him, right?
Yeah,
Big
he's
way
fatter
less
than me?
him?
Yeah.
You could probably
Yeah.
beat him in a race.
My hairline's better than his too.
He could probably pass a toxicology exam before you.
Nah,
You think he's getting loaded? He don't seem like the
I
type.
mean-
he seems like too nerdy to.
his blood sugar levels just might like exceed over into
Yeah,
the
I would love
toxicology
to
report.
find out what kind of fast food he's eating.
Also, I want to know
What if we had
where,
to eat off
where he got the HIV positive. Like,
from 6ix9ine?
oh, okay.
But he just has like a bunch of shirts. There's like a design that says that, right? Like that's
Yeah,
just
it's like his shirt.
his new wave. Maybe he really is HIV positive. No, he's. I
What
just
if he
seen
re-
an Instagram caption where he said he wasn't.
And in the same diss, he was like, "I know my bitch mad at me. I gave her another STG." Dude, he's fucking. That's why I'm sad because I'm like, fuck, he's amazing.
My girl
He
did an
dissed me.
OnlyFans collab and gave me an STD like last
No
year.
way.
A year or two ago from some random girl.
I wonder if she'd like you saying that.
Yeah, that was crazy. You just
We've
revealed
talked
that.
about it before. Fucking, she like,
But like,
it was like an all-girl orgy, and then she ended up getting something from it. It was a little chlamydia.
I was just about to say that, like, so like, girl on girl scissoring is like you can like get it.
I would
don't know.
assume it's
I know
probably
nothing
pretty
about
hard.
Changing of some
Fluids.
It's
Yeah.
probably harder.
That's what I was thinking,
Because
yeah.
you know, you putting the chlamydia dick all the way in there, then you getting all the way to the back of that thing. You're spreading whatever you got all through the whole thing. you
That's what
know?
I was thinking.
There's probably a higher
Especially if
percentage.
you ejaculate the chlamydia nut into the clean vagina.
You ever like feel how different it feels to take a piss or to nut when you have a STD?
I've honestly, you're probably gonna think I'm lying. Every time that I've been tested, I've never had an STD. I've never had any symptoms. I've
Lies.
definitely been scared to where I thought that I did, but I've always tested positive.
I was able to say
tested
that.
positive,
tested
HIV positive.
I was able to say that exact thing until 3 years ago, and then I got hit a couple times in the
Yeah.
course of my relationship.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
That's because you guys were fucking random ass
Yeah.
thoughts from the sweaty ketamine warehouse parties.
The other one was that me and her fucked some random fucking overweight Mexican girl, and boom, we got.
That's why she
Why
random.
should to be overweight and
She just
Mexican?
was.
And
I
you
don't know.
and you're fucking random overweight Mexican girls from the ketamine warehouse parties raw.
Yep,
your girlfriend?
Yeah, on the Zans. Yep.
I
Damn,
felt
you
that.
are insane.
You are
Back in the
a
day.
wild
I
nigga.
know. I can't do that no more. No, that's one thing that I realized.
Really? You can't?
Is that people be on your ass when you got a kid coming. People would be mad as fuck that I was doing a fucking threesome for OnlyFans like that. People like really get on your head as soon as you got a baby on the way or inside of her body.
You know who they've been on heads about babies? Kanye West.
Man, he is wilding the fuck out. Yesterday was a movie.
Okay, so let's just start off with the rally.
The rally. I watched the whole damn thing. It was
The
so
audio
funny.
was so fucking bad. It was pissing me off.
Who the fuck orchestrated this rally to where they didn't think maybe we should get Kanye West, one of the most controversial, everything he says gets put in the tabloids. Maybe we should get him a mic so people can hear him clearly.
He's been literally touring and performing for like over 10 years.
probably like 20
years. What the fuck?
Why was there no
Or
mic?
even a loudspeaker.
No mic, but allegedly, like the people he has running his campaign are brand new to doing anything like this. So to them,
It's kind of like the Joe Exotic
Was it
campaign.
like the young black people he had on stage with him and like
No,
talking before?
not at all.
I don't know if it
Not
was
at all.
them. Yeah.
No, not at all. So that specific girl came out and did a rebuttal about her experience.
no, but that's not the girl who was
No,
on
no.
stage.
Yeah. There was a girl on stage before, like talking about police brutality.
Right.
and-
I was wondering what the fuck, where she came
I
from and
didn't
how he ended
understand.
up getting her up there and everything too. Yeah.
But that wasn't
Yeah.
the same girl
that
who
got
literally
kicked
did.
out for the mask. No,
She got kicked out.
or
She didn't get kicked out.
Called out.
Did she get called out for wearing a mask?
Well, no. So basically, she proposed a question to him,
Right.
and in Kanye fashion, he didn't respond to the question. He kind of just went around it and talked about a whole bunch of other shit. And then he was basically like bigging himself up, and he was saying like, "I'm up here speaking and blah blah blah. We can't even see who
Your
you
face.
are
Yeah.
with your face cover." And everybody was like, "Ooh!" But then it was like the energy that he had towards
The white woman.
the white
that
woman
came
who was
right
basically
before that.
saying the same things that she was saying, or like, or at least in the same tone. He had a very different, tone with her,
Totally different. Yeah.
and
it was really fucked.
And even like asked her for a hug afterwards, and it was just like, I just don't understand as someone who is like, he's very vocal about like his love for his mother, who is a black woman, and he gets very visibly upset anytime he talks about her. For someone of like his level and his platform to just always just like shitting on black women specifically, and just like the whole Harriet Tubman.
The one
That
thing
was fucking insane.
The one thing you can definitely say from this, which I appreciate, is that the time period, because for the past couple of years, you've had so many people saying like, Kanye's not crazy. Kanye's actually just telling the truth. Kanye, oh yeah, he's voting for Donald Trump, but why do all black people have to vote for the same person? Oh, he's just genuinely interested in Jesus now. It's like, no, he's going through a fucking episode. He is a crazy person. Nothing that comes out of his mouth right now, like maybe once in a while he'll make a point that is actually a good point, but for the most part, I watched Fusi explode mentally in 2018. This is that. This is exactly the same thing. If I had $1 million to bet right now, I would bet $1 million on the fact that he is having a psychotic fucking manic episode. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know exactly what to call it.
But
it's not just him stating his opinion.
But this is where it comes into play. It's like you gotta hear the things that he's saying, the way that he's wording it, and then we have to think about where this is stemming from and like what is the origin of like what's going on, because it seems like whatever is going on at the Kardashian Jenner compound, the Kardashian concentration camp, it seems like he is like rebelling against that, and you can tell by the Twitter rant.
Guaranteed that whatever they are trying to do that he is upset about is that they are trying to get him to shut up. They are trying to get him to stop fucking saying all this crazy shit, because they want the best for him. Like, does anyone seriously think that they have ill intentions for him?
I 1000% believe that.
But why would you think that when he's publicly losing his fucking mind? He's going to lose his wife and he is going to lose his kids.
And he's the
this
father
is a fact. He is going to lose his family and his kids because of all this shit. They clearly are trying to stop that from happening before it happens. I understand that he feels like he's being suppressed by these white people or whatever. It's bullshit. They are looking out for you. They are the only line of defense because it's clear that nobody else on his team is able to get through to him.
But you have to think about it like this, though. At the same time, it's like, I think that even though he might be a little, what's the word I'm looking for? He might be a little erratic about the way he's going about it, but
a little, like the most erratic from anybody you've ever seen in the public realm.
The most erratic, I'll give you that. And I'm not agreeing with, like, I don't agree with we should get rid of Plan B and have Plan A and all that crazy ass shit. I don't agree with any of that shit, but I think that he's just like trying to convey the message. And I don't think there was
what message?
Yeah, what message? There's no coherent message.
Because
his message about his experience where I guess where they were having conversations about aborting the first child or whatever, and God had this revelation sent to him and was like, oh, we need to keep this child or whatever, right? But there's nothing wrong with that sentiment, but it's like the way that he's expressing it is just so
two people
unhinged.
Two people who experience unplanned pregnancy to then have a conversation about abortion and then to continue on and to have the kid anyway is like the most normal thing in the world.
No, for sure.
For him to put that on blast when the kid is 7 is some deranged shit. Like, the kid doesn't fucking deserve this. The kid is old enough that they're starting to understand this.
Oh, they probably definitely understand it.
I mean, or they will understand once they're old enough in a couple years to Google their dad and to realize that this is a real thing. Like, why would you want your kid to know that?
You got to think about this day and age that we're in. You don't think Northwest is on a fucking iPad and phone every day and not?
Josh's kid is 6 and he definitely ain't Googling nothing. So
I mean, but like Josh's kid is a little more reserved than like not Northwest and not the kid of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
But if I'm Kanye West and I have a 7-year-old, the number one rule for the 7-year-old is you're not allowed on the internet. You're not allowed to read about your parents on the internet. You're not allowed to have Instagram.
Think about how
you gotta keep your kids so far away from that until they're ready for it.
The craziest like parental controls on their fucking
Safari. Because think about how easy it would be for them to just Google Kim Kardashian fucking sex tape or something and for it to just come up.
Oh yeah, and I mean even that the sex tape is the least of their worries. Them realizing all the crazy shit their dad is doing is even I mean a kid is not ready to learn about their dad being Kanye West at 7.
Okay, look. And was it really anything? Okay, like maybe you shouldn't air this out on Twitter, but the whole thing being like my baby mama will never film our kids naked with Playboy. Was there anything wrong with him saying that? Really?
I mean, it sounded to me like Kim probably had an offer from Playboy to do a cover with Kanye and her and the kids, or something along those lines.
Where are you getting that from?
Because that's literally what he's talking about.
No, he was saying, like,
he was
when
referring
she
to Kris
grows
Jenner.
up.
No, he was referring to Kris Jenner sexually exploiting Kim Kardashian's like figure and kind of being the one that is that was like being the reins behind it. I don't get how both.
I remember that episode on the Kardashians.
I don't get
too.
because
is there anything even slightly weird about Kim Kardashian being on the cover of Playboy? Like, why is that even? Why would he act like there's anything wrong with that?
He was saying that when North grows up, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen like the way it happened with Kris and Kim.
North should make her own decision when she's of age to who she wants to model for.
And that's obviously like neither here nor there because she's a fucking 7-year-old. So there was really no reason for him to say that at all. But I think I don't know, he was trying to stir up the pot. He was trying to I think he just has serious beef with Chris and he was just going at her on his Twitter finger shit.
But I think the more important thing is that he's going through a bipolar manic episode.
Sure.
So like maybe he has issues
Calling
with Chris.
her out like that was crazy.
I know. It's just like it is crazy, but I mean, at the same time, like if North ends up being a grown woman and her mother is her manager and her manager decides that it's a good idea for her to be in Playboy, it's not like she could force her to do it, but if the manager thinks that it's a good idea, like Kris Jenner wanting to put Kim Kardashian on the cut. Do you see that he called it the sex rape? Yeah, that didn't seem like a typo.
He was trying to say sex tape because if you have ever watched any of these episodes of the Kardashians,
I just saw my first episode the other day.
Yeah, so like these conversations and shit are recorded, and like these moments, like when the sex tape came out and they were trying to figure out what to do, whether they should block it and all that shit. They came to the conclusion together, Chris kind of being the one that was like really pushing it, like it's already being threatened to be out. Let's get ahead of it and let's fucking, make money off of it. So that's what it gives more context if you know this stuff. Because
I don't know a ton about Kris Jenner, but I would trust her with every single decision here over Kanye by like a million degrees. Like,
but I'm saying
1,000 times more trustworthy and capable of making these decisions.
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, if Lena was trying to, if there was a sex tape of your unborn daughter who's not even born yet, and
what the fuck? You mean when she's an adult?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you don't have to say you're unborn.
I'm saying, yeah. So now I'm
getting this weird image in my head.
21 years into the future, and your daughter has a sex tape that's out that was recorded privately, and her boyfriend or whatever was trying to revenge release it, and Lena was like, all right, let's fucking get ahead of this and make some money out of it. Would you have a problem with it?
I mean, at the end of the day, if your kid ends up having a sex tape, then you're gonna have to, and if it is gonna come out, and you're gonna have to make that decision about how to handle it. I mean, I don't think that 20 years later, while going through a bipolar episode publicly on Twitter is the best place to then make this decision,
the way he should go about it.
But that Twitter outburst was clearly like the last gasp of a person who's basically like at the end of it's clear that he's so out of control that there's nobody who can stop him from doing this on Twitter. And it seems like there's a lot of people who've been trying to rein him in. And I think that's what the whole Jenner clan was trying to do. Yeah. And that Twitter rampage seemed like kind of like the last
That's probably
gasp.
pushing him a little even further because he's Kanye West. Do you think Kanye West is going to let anybody silence him or tell him what he's going to say?
But the thing is I think he just lets it build up for months and months and months at a time. And then he finally lets it spill out.
This is something that probably has been building up for years because the way that he addressed it all,
I remember Ian Connor one time saying that he one of the things that he learned from Kanye, don't ever talk about politics publicly. This is what Ian Connor said one time. Wow. And we have seen with Kanye the detriment that talking about politics will have on your career if you have dissident opinions. If you follow the party line and you just say all the generic Democrat talking points over and over, then it's fine to talk about politics. But if you are somebody like Kanye who is totally incoherent when he talks about politics, doesn't really know that much about politics or whatever, religion, abortion, whatever, he's just so lacking in knowledge about anything he says about that shit, and he feels the need to do it on this public stage, and it's obviously been very, very bad for his career. I think that this feels like the last time that anybody was going to take him seriously. Now, the stuff that Chance was saying 2 weeks ago or a week ago about why is Joe Biden a better presidential candidate than Kanye West, totally unnecessary questions like that. I don't think anybody's going to defend Kanye like that going forward unless he actually shows us that his mental state has improved significantly.
He was making just some of the most ridiculous claims about the whole abortion thing was really just really throwing me off. He was proposing that everyone who had a child
got $1 million
and everyone in the room laughed at the same time.
I know, and he's serious, and
that's what made him mad. You could tell it made him mad because he just doesn't have the answers to the things that he's proposing.
I mean, overall, since his downward spiral, I think that he comes from a good place. It's just a lot of the points that he has is just very narcissistic and only comes from like
his point of view,
his perspective,
his
point
rich
of view.
nigga in Calabasas.
Exactly.
I'm gonna move to what the whole like
Guns?
E Entertainment and NBC can't tell my family not to be close to me or something like that. It sounds like he's over in Wyoming, you know, working on the Yeezy farm and Yeezy factories, whatever.
He's doing that thing that people do before they like have like a manic episode, or before when people are like suicidal and they start saying that they want to give away everything that they have. And he was kind of saying that like, oh, like I'm not involved with like Adidas or whatever unless I am on the
board.
Yeah, like all that shit, and like saying that he wants to like, oh, that percentage of my money is now going to go to these
Africa,
you know. And it's like, I don't believe you at all that you're going to follow through with these, but that sort of intent of just sort of wanting to give away everything he has, given what he's going through.
I never thought about that.
It really feels like he's kind of like, you know, on the verge of like this is an expression of self harm.
Okay, but then can we be honest though? Okay, and then his album is coming out on Friday. Allegedly.
Do we have any reason to actually believe that album actually is a real thing or it's going to come out? Because I feel like crazy people tend to make really good music, so I think no matter what, it's going to be super interesting. Although I wouldn't say
I mean,
that
he did have a lead-up single. Sorry for cutting you off.
But that nobody gave a fuck about at all.
I don't even know what you're talking
and you
about.
get a Travis Scott feature, people are supposed to care.
Song, yeah.
Nav got a Travis Scott feature, and that was like his whole album. Drake got a Travis Scott feature, that was like the whole album. Kanye's
actually, it was the other way around. Drake was the feature on the Travis Scott song.
Right, that's why. Oh yeah, you're right. But
anyway, go ahead.
But I mean, normally when you get Travis Scott on your song, it's a really big song.
He didn't even do a full verse.
It was like he was singing background vocals.
He was
like
just doing
did
the ad libs. Yeah.
But I mean, that says a lot because normally, like when Kanye releases shit, it goes up. His last album, the Christian album, none of those songs went up. Nothing came from that really. Like Kanye is a guy who prides himself on being able to make massive impacts on society. And that album, to me, made no impact at all. And I would assume that this next project might be similar.
It's just really sad because he's really turning into like that meme of like when you live long enough, you become the villain or whatever the fuck.
You know what he's turning into? That meme of him and Kim fat and they're both wearing suits and they're like hugged up. That he's becoming that meme of like him as a pastor.
I don't know about this meme.
I'll show you right now.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
They
I
look
mean,
like they're in like fat suits.
Yeah.
he's lost it. It's like we don't really have, like, you know, everybody takes it for granted that you are an adult functioning human being, so you are allowed to go on social media and you are allowed to go on people's shows and you're allowed to say whatever you want. But how do we treat somebody that we all kind of care about just as like a cultural figure who's clearly going through a very, very public episode publicly, and like somebody, oh my God, that is so amazing. What did you have to Google to find that?
Kanye and Kim fat meme. Anybody Google that right now. Kanye and Kim fat meme. This is literally what he's turning into.
Before I forget,
she still looks good as fuck.
They should have you voice Lenny from The Simpsons.
Which one is Lenny?
We don't know.
The black dude. They got rid of the no white people are allowed to voice the black characters anymore.
He
no?
said
Carl. Lenny's the white guy, right? Oh God, it's been too long.
Wait, you said in The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm too.
Oh my God.
I've never watched The Simpsons, really.
I forgot.
it's
you're
sad
a
because
millennial.
he's pushing away the people, the only people that could pretty much help him, his only immediate family that exists in the world. So I don't know.
I don't know. Like what happens from here? Or if we found out that he was all fucked up on pills right now, like would anybody be surprised?
Well, I think the problem is that they said before is that he didn't want to be on the pills.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
and
think
that was kind of the thing with FouseyTube too, is that he was on whatever, like antidepressants, and then he got off of them and started taking Adderall, and he thought he was fine, and everybody else is like, no, you're losing. And then at a certain point, though, you hit the wall. But I mean, Kanye has gone through this exact thing like a bunch of times publicly. It just seems like people are a lot more cognizant of what's actually happening right now. What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know what happened to our list thingy.
Oh yeah. Let me. Sorry, guys.
Previously, we've had a list.
You know what? I'm list
I
gang.
just have the list in here.
You
You had a really good list.
Oh, we didn't talk about the most important thing of literally the whole fucking week.
Ready?
Meg Thee Stallion gets
and
shot
Tory Lanez.
by Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
We also have to talk about that and the Migos QC situation.
I kind of don't like the thing. It's really hard to have a conversation with the Tory and Meg thing because it's like, oh, here's somebody mega famous who did something that nobody could ever excuse or understand to another very famous person, what do you really say? You know, like there was a moment I listened to the Joe Budden podcast the other day. They pretty much had whatever there was to say about it. And like at the end of it, like Maul had to like clarify, like, oh yeah, by the way, like if this is true, you are a bitch ass whatever.
Nigga,
you know, like I mean, it's so obvious. Like you are a terrible person if you shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. It seems likely that's what happened, but it's like a delayed thing because we haven't seen the video, but there is a video.
And no fucking way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Multiple sources have confirmed that there is a video somewhere. But see, this is the thing too. It's like, yeah, we can't really fully speak on it. Like, I remember you were saying, I saw you saying that you seem like, it seems like the cancellation of Tory Lanez is kind of delayed because it's like once it comes out of what actually happened, it's like it's just going to be done from there. Right. But it hasn't happened yet because, you know, she hasn't fully came out and just said, this is what happened. The story hasn't been really released. And she said something on Instagram that really changed my whole perspective. Not my whole perspective, but it just made me realize what was actually going on. Of the fact that everyone's like making jokes about it as memes. It's like memes of Tory, like, you know, shooting her like on the fucking like Menace to Society like meme or whatever and shit like that. And it's like, Black women go through so much like trauma and violence and shit, and they always protect and put the other people first. This happened to my own mother. My dad almost killed my mom in front of me when I was a kid, and she never called the cops on him. The cops came, but she didn't press any charges, nothing like that. And it's just like, you see these stories all the time where, you know, Meg hasn't came out and really said anything.
But you know what Meg has done, though, is that she's made it pretty much without saying Tory shot me in the foot. She's pretty much said everything that she needs to say to make it clear that that's what happened, because she said like one of the scenarios is like, oh, well, what if he was just holding the gun and the gun went off by accident? She said in her statement, it was intentional. It was an attack on her life. So she hasn't fully said, like, she hasn't fully snitched on Tory, but she's made it clear, like, all those other hypothetical scenarios, those are not it.
Because she said everything without saying it directly, and even people being like, okay, the third person in the car, her friend even came out and was like, it wasn't me. So there's literally one.
And you see the bodyguard being mad at Tory.
Oh man,
the
DJ was like, count your fucking.
What the fucking bodyguard said? He was like,
the bodyguard. We with niggas that don't aim at feet.
Yep, exactly.
And this is the whole thing about it, is that if it wasn't so bad, the reaction might actually be worse. Because think about the video of Bari. When the video came out of Bari and the girl in the hotel room, I mean, that comparatively, even like your worst thing that you can imagine was happening in that clip is 100 times less offensive than shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. But when that shit happened, it was like the timeline was like, it was, and I mean, granted, Tory was like #1 trending, but without a visual aid, it seems like it's kind of hard for people to fully like accept this, because I don't think the Chris Brown thing was that bad until you saw that picture of Rihanna's face.
How soon did the picture get released after that story?
I think it was a couple days.
Yeah, it might have got like released within the same time frame.
Because you hear about some domestic violence shit, and it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe he pushed her, or maybe, you know, he threw her in the wall and she bumped her head, whatever. Like maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's something that we could forgive. The shooting in the foot thing seems like it's kind of beyond anything that the public in general is going to be able to forgive, right?
I've seen a couple people too keep trying to refer to like, oh, you know, why does nobody talk about Rihanna started the fight first and punched him first, or like what if. I even said this. I was like, what if Meg was like beating his ass and she's like clearly taller than him or whatever? But that doesn't excuse
probably just take the L.
It's not probably like even if Meg Thee Stallion had you on the ground stomping you out, like you can't shoot her in the foot.
Yeah. Hey man, there would be some wild video if she was just like straight delivering like rampage style.
That'd be super fire.
Ground and pound, like Tory's actually
like, what could they have
about
been?
To tap out. Like so Tory's on his last leg. No, you want to hear what my story? Because me and AD are connected in the streets. Okay. So I've heard a few stories.
Me and AD, or just AD.
So what I'm hearing, my version that I've heard from various people that have basically then
trusted
filtered
sources
through AD, yes, very trusted sources, is that Megan and Tory have been fucking. They've been chilling. They go to this house party. Kylie Jenner is there. I heard, depending on who you want to ask, that either Tory was showing too much attention to Kylie Jenner, or Kylie Jenner was showing too much attention to Tory. Either way, Meg did not appreciate it. Meg, maybe at this point in her career, has a little bit of an ego. She's feeling
For sure.
herself. She doesn't feel like she has to deal with any disrespect. I
felt
heard
that.
Meg was violating his ass, that they got into a fight that was like bad, and I heard that
Goddamn.
she was like really shitting on him, like really like
I could see her doing that.
disrespecting the fuck. Obviously, this doesn't justify
No,
anything
none
he
of
did,
that. No.
but that's what I heard, is that it was like, it was bad, like the altercation that they were in, and like the level of violation that he maybe was feeling. Obviously, not a reason for any violence to occur. Never mind
No.
a gunshot, but
Never mind a gunshot. Yeah.
that's what we heard. And
Yeah, I watched
mean-
there was like a short live stream of Megan on Instagram Live, and she had
Right.
Kylie in it, and then like they're both posing and looking cute, and then Tori tries to like swim up and be in the shot. She's like, Tori, don't get my phone wet, and then he kind of like backs off.
yeah,
And I was like,
you know, when I was watching Quarantine Radio, there was such an
Quarantine.
I was watching it just thinking like, it's so amazing that Tory Lanez has found himself in this position, which now it is very, very hard for him to imagine him being in, but where he is so universally loved by all these girls, and all these girls seem to think that he's such a good guy that they are comfortable going on his live and shaking their ass and getting fucking
I don't
butt
think they
naked,
do that
etc.
because he's a good guy.
Okay.
Well, but they trust him to be the host of this. So
Okay.
a lot of guys would not be considered necessarily
Hell
an
no.
appropriate host for this level
It's a
of
lot
debauchery.
it's a lot of niggas that even if they had the same amount of followers or just like
Yeah.
level of clout, whatever, that bitches would not just be down and just bust it down on their lives.
Especially,
I think
it's
being
so
an R&B
many different
singer
girls.
Yeah.
So many
But look,
porn star
let's-
girls I know and stuff. Like,
but
so
let's
many
just-
guys have fucked up images in terms of stuff with women. Like, maybe not fully fucked up, but at least like they have some allegations. They have this one thing that's bad that women hate him for or whatever. Tory has pretty much avoided that throughout his career. It's not like he
Yeah.
ever really had that reputation.
But can we be honest? Like you were talking about how he like became basically universally loved. The thing is, it's like the love isn't necessarily filtered directly towards him. It's more filtered just towards bitches shaking their asses on his Instagram story. It's not like I saw somebody else talking about this where like you compare it to the Chris Brown Rihanna situation where like Chris Brown was like that nigga, like Academics was talking about this actually,
Right.
that Chris Brown was like so loved and like, you know,
People are looking at him like the next MJ.
yeah, and like he even had like that. He even has that fan base now that still defends that shit to this day. Like grown women
Team
that
Breezy.
you know. So it's
The
like
fact that Chris Brown still has the career that he has is honestly pretty fucking
It's a
amazing.
testament.
It's
but
crazy.
Also says a lot about the fact that he had this whole deal in like what 2003 or whatever
Yeah,
when that happened. I mean, 2020 is a lot different. Also,
well, he came
Well,
out in like
and
2003,
Chris,
but that,
like Tory Lanez is super talented, but Tory Lanez's music is not necessarily
It's
going to
nowhere.
carry him this whole way. Whereas Chris Brown, I feel like is actually like, and Tory
And-
Lanez is really good, but I feel like Chris Brown is
Chris
just
Brown was
musically,
beloved.
He's
he's bigger, he's
Yeah.
better. Tory puts up.
he was like a
projects that
child star
Yeah,
too.
and
I heard
people-
that's one of the things that she said to him is like, you ain't even on Billboard. I heard that
No,
that
she
bar
probably
was tossed out there.
She probably was violent. I could see her really because think about that. Think about being Meg Thee Stallion and like obviously this nigga is on some clout shit. If he's like you come to the party with him and then he's trying to like like make a little move on Kylie because Kylie has more followers and is more
You know, a
popular,
little up
whatever.
on her. You know, if Kylie's acting nice to you, you might get a little enthusiastic.
Oh, for sure,
might
but
piss your girl off a
you
little
can't
bit,
do
right?
you can't do that in front of Meg Thee Stallion. No, you gotta do that later. You gotta DM her later on.
I wonder if Kylie smashed him before, though. That's a question.
I don't know, but the fact that like
I feel like Meg Thee Stallion needs like a sign outside her door that says like you must be this height
tall
in
to
order
ride
to
this
get on
ride.
this ride.
that was definitely probably something that was thrown out. You short ass, bitch ass, non-billboard ass, restored hairline ass, chipmunk teeth ass, Chick-fil-A teeth ass. She was probably going
Got
in on that
dash,
shit.
jumped ass.
You old no, that was hard. I'm not gonna
She would bring that up.
Oh yeah, Jimmy
I'm not gonna lie, that
Well,
was
and then
tight.
he gets so mad.
But she's so big. Can you imagine what it would be like to have his little ass like
No.
kind of crawling up her leg and like he's just a little spider monkey, just like sort of like
a
crawling all over there. You know,
koala?
yeah. Like I don't really think it would look right.
The funny thing is, I saw there's a photo. You know how they love putting a photo with the two people and then like the article or whatever.
Yeah.
So the picture they keep posting is
Looks
like
like-
him bended over and like in front of her, and I don't know. They just look
You
like.
mean I saw a picture of her bent over
Oh,
in front
yeah,
of him.
her,
I'm like, what?
Her bended over in front of him, and I
Yeah.
was just like,
And
this,
he's like
this
this.
doesn't look right.
He's like this. Her ass is like up here to his chest.
Can I just all right?
Wait. Let me say something real quick. What if G-Eazy would have shot her when they
Oh,
were?
no. He's out of here. He's way too white to be shooting Meg Thee Stallion.
Remember they were mollied up and he was like making out with the side of her face.
They were talking about that Joe Budden. They're like, they're like, you know how you be tasting just the makeup, but she's so bad, you just keep doing it. You just sucking the makeup off.
Are you sucking the perfume on the neck?
And it tastes so bad, but you're like, I'm gonna just keep sucking until I can't taste this anymore. Yeah, no, that's real.
The perfume neck is terrible.
Fuck, what was I just about to say? Oh yeah, all right. This is an incident when Tory Lanez came to do the interview. And by the way, for the record, he was super cool when we did the interview. Very nice guy. I liked him a lot. Up until this news, never had anything bad to say about him. But I will say that there was a situation where basically some gangsters of sorts were lurking around by the Sprinter that Tory had traveled there in. Tory had a security guard that was a fucking monster. Like, he's like 7-something LA tattooed on his face. They were saying he just got out of jail. The kind of guy that could probably beat up like 99.9% of human beings on earth. Nobody involved in his crew had a gun, right? But there's these gangsters sort of like congregating by the Sprinter, right? Somebody that was in my camp had a gun. The security guard was about to take the gun and put it in his pants and then go talk to these guys who were by the car to like make sure the situation was cool. Tory was like, nah, give it to me. I'm holding it.
Oh, God.
Which kind of like blew my mind. I'm like,
What the
why
fuck
the
is wrong with
fuck
you?
does he want to be the one holding the fucking gun? Like, this is what he has security for. But in that moment, I was like, this really stands out to me as some extra ass shit. Why the fuck? And I don't think that he actually ended up holding the gun to go have this argument or whatever.
Just that mindset
and because his team's there too. He's got like managers, like they're like, seeing this argument where he's trying to say that he wants to be the one holding the gun to go out and argue with these guys. He shouldn't even be the one going out to argue with these guys. He
Definitely
shouldn't
even be.
Yeah.
That's what your security is for.
It was bugged out, but like I've heard other stories since then about Tory that kind of make it clear that like he is the kind of guy who at times might feel the need to sort of like overcompensate for.
It's like some little man
things,
syndrome shit, bro.
I mean, what happened with Selena?
Who, man, and she's.
I forgot about that.
According to Selena, she got a big ass settlement for that shit too.
God damn.
I don't know if I'm supposed
Shout
to
out
be
to
saying
her,
that
I guess.
either, but the reason why we haven't heard nothing about that in the media and shit is because she got broke the fuck off by Tory's team, which he
God
probably
damn.
gonna need some of that money for whatever the fuck he gonna be paying Megan.
I see, but Megan don't need his money, so that's the thing where it's like,
But Megan also didn't snitch. She went to the she
Yeah,
said she had
fact.
glass in her foot, so that's why we were all thrown off the scent for a little while.
But that's
Start
why-
this shit.
But I feel like she back took that and then what kind of made the statement of like, well, no, someone's trying to intentionally fucking harm me.
I think Meg at the end of the day knows that she is looked at in a way where nobody wants to see her talking to the cops, So
Yeah.
she'll put out her little statement privately or whatever. The real question is if the gun that he got arrested with matches the bullet fragments in her fucking ankle, then what do the cops do with that information? Like, is it going to be the kind of thing where they have to press charges regardless if she wants to be snitching?
and like, let's just be honest with like the gun carrying laws in California are so strict, and like. Not okay, so he might not ever.
He's from Canada.
He might not ever be allowed back in the country just off the gun charge alone. And then if he gets like a assault with a deadly weapon charge or some shit like that, he won't ever be able to come back here to tour ever again.
Yeah, I mean it's
He's deported. He's back in
damn.
Canada.
It's two different things,
Remember we were on tour and our friend who was from Canada was scared of even being in the same vehicle as a gun because she was like, I could get deported and never be let back in.
And then we had to ride a fucking dirty ass Greyhound, and then she got her suitcase stolen from the bottom. That whole
God.
tour was just
I didn't know that happened at all.
your homie got caught,
no. She didn't get caught.
but her suitcase got stolen on the Greyhound.
Yes, we took a Greyhound because we didn't want to ride with you crazies.
Oh, because of
And
the
then-
straps.
Exactly, and then her fake monogram Louis Vuitton suitcase got stolen from the bottom.
Really?
Very sad.
That reminds me, about 20 years ago, I forgot a Rockaware hat on the bus, the Chinatown bus. Boom,
That
shit was
reminds
gone.
you.
I went to the Wendy's, got a Baconator, came back, and hat was gone.
They didn't have Baconators 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Similar story, but not
I'm
really.
lying. I went to Wendy's or some shit. I came back, hat was
Wendy's?
gone. I was hurt. It was a Rockaware fitted. I was feeling myself.
Yeah, that's
in that
kind of
thing.
hard.
I gotta
Like a
get one
denim
now.
Rockaware fitted.
No, it
That'd be
was
kind of
all
hard.
black with the black logo, like real low key.
Were you wearing it like this, like to the side?
That's the kind of hat you catch a body in.
No, he
Yeah.
wore it so it's like hanging off.
Yeah, you had to wear you had to wear it like Ti. Like
Oh
this.
yeah. That was it. Yeah. My first ever photo in a BMX magazine, Rockaware hoodie. So don't ever say I don't support black businesses.
No,
You
be
support
like,
it-
be like Yuri and get a FUBU jersey for the
You
first
supported a
time.
black
And then
business
find
by
out-
giving me a chain.
Find out 10 years later that is what FUBU stands for.
It's kind of heavy, honestly.
And he thought that Matt Damon owned it.
Definitely
No,
missing a couple
I
diamonds.
seen Lucha with no mask on though.
Oh, I saw
No way.
Lucha with no mask. Actually, have I?
Oh, he said what's up to me in public with no mask on. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
I
And he was
love
like,
Lucha.
Lucha? And
Yeah.
you're like, what?
He's like me, amigo.
Is he white?
No,
I think
he's
he's. I
Mexican.
think
I
he's
don't
Mexican.
think he's Mexican
That's-
at all. I think it's all a front.
Him wearing that
I don't think
fucking
so.
mask would be some crazy ass cultural appropriation.
Yeah, if he was not
wasn't Mexican, yeah. Yeah, Migos. QC, do we really have to talk about that? I mean, we don't
mean-
have that much information yet.
You
think-
dig. 4 Eyes, 2 G's here. Actually, just released a video when I was on the way over here. I should have watched it.
No, I watched it, but it's all kind of regurgitating content that I've already heard from academics.
No, and if you want to really like, okay, you know who's somebody that's clearly unhappy with QC is Lil Yachty. Because you watch that, there's a Everyday Struggle
Yeah,
interview with Yachty, and he like the way he acts to the camera and shit, it's kind of like, oh shit, like you really are not feeling this QC thing. And I actually, when I did my interview with Lil Yachty when we were in Australia, I tried to ask him about that because I was basically like, you know, Migos, Cardi B is with QC now, et cetera, et cetera. Like there's all these people that are like really big on the label. Like how does that make you feel? And he didn't like directly say it, but it was pretty fucking clear that he was just over it. And I mean, you know, it's been pointed out multiple times, but it's interesting that the Migos are choosing to have this conversation right now when Lil Baby is clearly the star of the show,
And-
QC wise.
And do you remember that whole thing where it was like, who did they beat up? That like 4PF beat up Quavo or Offset or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Remember that? Remember it was like a
Lil
very
Baby
short.
versus Offset.
Lil
stuff.
Baby versus Offset was the thing, huh?
It was
Kind.
it was
like
versus
no
one of the
No one was
Migos.
really talking about it. Though.
I almost forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, you remember? So it's like.
It was like on stage.
No,
or,
well,
or a show.
It was a
or
couple things that happened. It was like a
backstage.
video of them in the parking lot,
Right.
And then
And they unfollowed each other.
they all unfollowed each other, and then there was the next day at a show, something else happened. So it was like, bro, it's like there's been some weird tension going on there.
And
for a
now
while.
Cardi B said she has
Cardi
no,
B
she
also
has
said she had no
manager.
management,
I feel like she hasn't been managed by QC for a while though. But
especially if her husband is having problems with them, and then
Definitely not.
they congregated together. What if Cardi B is the one behind all of this and was just like, or like her team realized she was getting done wrong, so they looked into Offset and all. You know, like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out theories now, but.
I wonder if Migos could be doing better if they had a new label or management or whatever. It seems more likely that they'll probably be wrapped up in contract negotiations and everything for a while. But I mean, you know, the Migos, like their whole career seems like it's kind of slowed up a lot, but you wonder how much of that is like just what was going to happen over time and how much of it was, you know, their team not necessarily going super hard for them right now.
Yeah, because this whole time we are all under the assumption that it's just kind of fizzling out for them, not you know, not because of the behind the scenes stuff, but just because of their music. But
Right, but
I mean,
if-
it's interesting now to
If
hear this.
Migos were still the biggest moneymaker for QC, what would their career look like right now? Because if you are QC, like who are you going to put all your money and time into? Maybe it's Lil Baby because he's fucking huge right now, and you know, and Yachty's clearly feeling that right now too, where
Yeah.
he's not the fucking flavor of the week. Maybe they'll let him put an album out to help him out with whatever, but you know, he's not the priority of them like giving him every fucking big ass moment. You know,
I mean, it sucks to say, but not everyone can be the fucking priority all the time.
it's
Yeah.
true. But also at a certain point, if your music just ain't really popping like that, then how long is the label going to go hard? But at a certain point, like, are Migos in a fucked up deal with QC? I assume so. They've been on that shit for
Dude, have
fucking
you
forever.
Yeah, see, and you have to think about they got signed. Well, okay, so the difference between
Right.
Migos and Yachty is like
They had a career before
they
QC.
had like a little movement, a little momentum before. But
Yachty was pretty much with them from day one.
yeah. So
the
if
jump.
if we're thinking about the terms of the Migos deal, where literally they're talking about there's no negotiation. Did you see the
that
actual
was crazy.
specifics of it? It was
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Yachty's deal
yeah.
is probably 10 times more fucked.
It's probably just as fucked up. And I mean, honestly, Lil Baby is somebody that they basically like internally birthed from the very beginning. So I would assume again that his deal is probably similarly
Because
intrusive.
I remember there was interviews where I think it was Amigos and like QC interview, and like P was like, "Yeah, this is our new artist, Lil Baby. He doesn't even want to rap."
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
trapping. He was the king trapper.
Crazy.
That freestyle
It's
song put
crazy
him
to
on
see
the
that
map.
now.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. Just to switch back into like random bullshit, is that I spent my entire day learning about MC8, and I think I'm gonna rewatch Menace to Society again tonight. Even though
should.
I watched the Prim Hood Cinema summary of it.
Also, congratulations to Nicki Minaj. Woo.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Hey, we guessed
I
it.
love the pictures.
I knew she was pregnant.
Oh, because
Yeah, a
the
bunch- a bu-
titties look so crazy.
A bunch of the blogs were posting it too. Like
I also knew
the
because
blogs.
somebody snitched and
Can you tell us who?
told me.
6ix9ine snitch.
6ix9ine snitched to Selena and fucking she told
Oh,
me. So I
God.
just already knew.
Really?
Yeah. So I already knew
saw-
a couple weeks ago.
That's who the source
culprit
was.
is?
Because I know you said it was. I'm not gonna repeat
But I
it.
didn't even post it. I told Keemstar and he tweeted about it.
You know what's crazy? I think Trap Lord Ross revealed that his inclination that she was pregnant because of the size of her titties in the 6ix9ine
Those were
video.
very fucking huge.
They looked
And I
crazy.
saw like
Oh.
like Nicki Minaj fan stan pages posting like all these different pictures of the video where like her body looks just not normal at all.
And they were saying that her like midsection was very covered and shit the whole time. It was
It
very
was, yeah.
focused on her face and titties the whole time, or then
And
like,
ass.
or just like one of her turned around. It was no full body shots.
When you think about it, remember when she said she was like retiring?
Yep.
That timing was, when you think about it now, probably about the time that she
Aligns
found
up.
out that she was pregnant, you know? So that actually kind of makes a lot of sense when you think about it now, that like she probably was like 2 months or however many months pregnant and then found
like,
out,
"Fuck it."
said, fuck it, I'm retiring. So at least I can take everybody's expectations and make them really, really low for the time being. And then she gets to do her mom. I honestly think that her having a baby is like, if I was on her team,
Good
if
for
I,
her.
this is like the best thing she could possibly do. Also, probably something she realistically needs to do right now because she's like 37. So I'm very glad that she's like
It'll like
getting that out of the
it'll
way.
humanize her more.
Exactly, because everybody is just used to her just sort
Yeah.
of, you know, it feels like to a certain extent people have kind of tired of some of Nikki's personality over the last couple of years.
It'll make
Like,
her more lovable.
yeah, some of her like bitchiness seemed kind of charming like 10 years ago, and it feels like people have been getting kind of sick of it lately, but I think people are ready to see her as a mom.
Can we talk about the real winner in this whole situation?
Big Zoo,
Mr. Petty.
Mr. Petty is,
He locked
I cannot
that
believe that's
down.
his last name.
yeah.
Yo, they should
Petty.
name the kid like extremely.
Extremely petty.
You think that he ever looks at her and just thinks, I could sit a cup on that ass?
Yes, he literally could.
He
could
probably
sit,
does.
He could sit a whole hydro flask on that ass.
You're a Visco girl. That's one thing I learned from Leon
What the
Lush.
fuck is a-
Shout out to Leon Lush.
Oh yeah, Blasey watches him. He has like a beard, right?
Yeah.
Blasey watches him. He has a
That's
beard.
funny
right?
to me that Blasey watches him, because Blasey's like a fashion guy and Leon Lush is pretty much the opposite
He
of
loves
that.
YouTube.
Blasey's a
Yeah.
YouTube guy.
But hey, why is this a Visco thing? Is Hydro Flask?
Yeah, that's,
Why do they own Hydro Flask?
they don't own it. It's just like a
No, I
stereotype
know,
of
but-
Visco girls is that they have hydro flasks,
I'm
which
saying-
I didn't know what a hydro flask was until I
love
watched
Hydro
Leon
Flask.
Lush's video about Visco girls, which I also did not know what a Visco girl was and didn't even know what Visco was until I watched this video.
Loser.
Now I'm kind of behind on the times.
I don't know, but
I
what
gotta do a
I'm,
music video like this.
what I'm saying is I don't want the Visco girls to own Hydro Flask.
That's
my
real.
thing.
Hey, everybody out there, who else agrees that me, House Phone, and AD should all get in the studio soon and make a song?
Gang banging.
Oh yeah, remix that.
Remix
Well, I
that?
keep saying to remix that. Nobody listens to me, so
Also,
whatever.
I'm doing a 40-minute house phone freestyle on my Twitch.
Mm.
We're gonna see who's better, Smoke Perp or Little House Phone.
I'm
Or-
not even gonna try. I'm just coming off the dome. Like I don't like.
You know what I realized?
I'm gonna
though?
try to prepare.
Watching that Smoke Perp thing, what I realized was that freestyling and rapping is all about energy.
Yeah.
And in that room, in that moment, there was absolutely no energy. There was nothing. And
He could have
so-
brought the energy though.
Yeah, he should have. If he had brought the homies in with him, but I mean, there's a lot
No,
of things you're not allowed to do. Like,
No, I
like
didn't mean-
any TJX6 Cash or Quan freestyle session that you hang out for will have better energy than that.
Oh,
I think he was
1000%.
too in his head too. He was too like thinking about.
And
it
we
too
have to think
much.
about this. Was it? I'm gonna cut him a little slack. Was it after the interview? Because if it was after the interview and you sat there and talked with Tim Westwood for 2 hours and then you had to freestyle for another hour,
I think, well, but the Tim Westwood interview wasn't that long. But I think they talk about the freestyle in the interview. So
yeah, you're right.
The funny thing about it too is that it keeps like going to the large shot, and you see Westwood just
Yep.
filming with his phone. And I don't follow Westwood on Instagram, but it really made me like, wow, I would never want to watch his Instagram story if it's just a bunch of clips of people rapping over and fucking over.
No, the best part was I saw him filming and it he was filming pretty much the worst parts.
Yeah,
And I was
he
just
really
like,
was.
God damn.
If I was on Smoke Perp's team and that freestyle happened, the first thing I would do is make sure that it didn't come out. If I was Tim Westwood and that freestyle happened, the first thing I would do is make sure that it comes out
Yeah.
because it's so inadvertently hilarious.
Maybe they really didn't think, like, because, like, let's just be honest, Smoke Perp is probably not the priority on anyone's team. I mean, on anyone at the label. So, like, maybe they didn't even, like, think twice about him doing a bad freestyle.
I think because that was the same England trip, I think, where he got threatened by fucking Russ. Or
Oh god, that was just a bad trip.
It was, right? Or no?
Probably, maybe.
Maybe it was the year before.
Yeah.
But either way, like the one thing that I basically realized from hearing and seeing about the Russ Smoke Perp situation was that like Smoke Perp going to England to play some shows and stuff, he doesn't really have the budget to have like a ton of team out there, never mind security. So I'm thinking that like realistically when that freestyle with Tim Westwood happened, there probably wasn't somebody around to say like, yo, don't put that out.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, but
you would think he would have at least one person or that like, I don't know.
I wonder if he overthought it or underthought it.
Overthought.
You think he thought about it too much?
You could see it in his gestures and face movements. And it's like every time he did okay, which was I guess a pre-written bar, then he would think too much and then start repeating the same shit and then like start moaning.
But it felt like if he had thought about it, like I feel like he didn't realize how
hard it was gonna be.
How high the bar for what he was gonna have to do there was gonna be. Like I just watched like a 10-minute Griselda freestyle on Charlie Sloth shit. Oh my! They all came in with fire fucking bars already written. And it was just like one of the best like 10 minutes of rapping that I've seen. Like it was amazing.
I became such a crazy Griselda fan over the last like 6 months. Like I knew who they were, but I never did a deep dive into the last 6 months. And literally every time I watch anything of them rapping, I'm so impressed. Like what the fuck? Like I'm like fuck all this other stupid ass rap. This is what
real hip hop.
No, I swear to God, dude, that shit is fire.
I don't want Benny the Butcher to hate us.
Dude, I know. Fuck you, Adam.
I feel like no, Benny the Butcher.
No, we have to talk about that.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm supposed to interview him about it, but Benny the Butcher, I feel like if I was gonna make a list of rappers who are rapping right now that I could put anywhere near the conversation of like the top 10 or 20 rappers of all time or whatever,
I'll put all three of them.
As a rapper, I'm gonna put them like not, obviously not a top 10, maybe not top 20, whatever, but they're like as close as, because when you really talk about like the top 5 rappers of all time, and then you try to think of rappers who
like
could
now.
maybe fit into that, like if you just throw out like Nas, Eminem, Jay-Z, Biggie and Pac, like just take that. How many rappers can you really take since then that you would put near that? It's a short list.
It's a very short list. Maybe like, Kendrick Lamar, J.
And
Cole,
even like
whatever.
rappers right now, you know what I mean?
Oh, rappers right now is like
to me,
completely.
like you could put Ghostface, Cameron, somebody like Kendrick for sure. I would put them sort of close up there. Benny, I mean, to me, Benny the Butcher, like I'm listening to the new Conway mix. Well, there's a new Conway mixtape that's coming out Thursday that I'm trying to get the advance link because I have to interview Conway Thursday. But this Conway mixtape I'm listening on Apple Music is like, the production is a lot different. Like, there's a lot of fucking guitar, weird shit going on and stuff. And
the last one that dropped, right?
Yeah, it's quite refreshing.
But
then he has another one coming out, and there was supposed to be Drake on it, according to Hot New Hip Hop, but then he's not. But that might have been recorded at some point.
I could definitely see Drake hopping on the Griselda wave.
Drake
Also,
been putting out a bunch of shit.
did you guys see
A lot of people hopped on.
his Habibi Arabic flow?
Yeah, he put out a Weekend song. You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear any of those
It's
songs.
just him rapping like The Weeknd, one of the Khaled things.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
He put
one.
out two Khaled songs, right?
I heard the one where he did with I don't know what
The
a
other
UK
dude,
artist.
yes.
I was supposed to watch that video.
The
I
Arabic
forgot.
flow was very funny.
Yeah.
I'm still off the Saw Baby, honestly.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't listened to that yet. I need to get on that.
Go watch the videos too. People don't tune into videos as much as you think. Like the normal people, I feel like.
Well, I remember I was interviewing Saw Baby, and I asked him, I'm like, so it was an Exposed. I was like, so you did a song with R. Kelly, huh? Like, what was up with that? He's like, yeah, like, I like R. Kelly's music, so I did a song with R. Kelly. I'm like, all right. Like I was just like thinking, I'm like,
you're like, all right, no jumper show.
I'm not gonna say like, all right, so like, you did a song with R. Kelly, but R. Kelly had bitches eating poop.
Ooh.
How you feel about it?
Like, how do you feel about R. Kelly's sex cult?
I was just like, I'm not gonna even say anything here. All right, R. Kelly eating poop, Saw Baby eating poop, Cam
wait.
Girl eating poop, House Phone eating poop.
Wait, by the
You
way,
eating poop. You're the one that gets
Yeah.
poop in your mouth and eats it.
Oh,
Or-
Trisha's poop.
or you're the one that got poop on your knee or some shit. What happened? Like some girl sat on your knee and she
I
shitted on
remember
your
he
knee.
said he ate ass and he got poop in his mouth and he like swallowed it.
That's one thing I've
That's
realized.
kind of normal though. If you eat, if you've eaten enough ass, you'll get a little taste.
chunk.
Yeah, I got a little.
Not really a
flavor.
chunk. I don't think I had a chunk,
A little
but
sliver.
I've
Not a
definitely,
particle.
I've definitely been in
particle.
there so much to where like my beard and nose and mouth.
You get pink
smell-
eye?
No, it's not only this area that's really in the ass.
I mean, the real question is just how much shit you're willing to tolerate. Because think about it, like
there's some shitty bitches.
if you
out there.
even fart right now, and you smell my fart, that means there's like tiny little particles of my shit getting into your nose. So if you go to lick an ass, no matter how much toilet paper you use, no matter how much you showered,
Have you ever gone to like eat some pussy? I feel like you don't eat pussy, but you ever gone to eat some pussy or eat some? I have.
69, my pregnant girlfriend the other day.
Have you ever gone to eat some pussy or eat some ass and there's just hella dry tissue around the holes?
I seen my girlfriend getting into the shower, and I just caught a little angle, and I realized like, oh man, there's a little chunk of toilet paper on that thing. Yeah, I seen that.
Like, do you remove it with your? I don't know.
At this point in my adult life, I would not put my mouth on an asshole or a vagina unless I had pretty much just seen it walked out of the shower or was told. I was just like, after having this level of trust of what I'm putting in my mouth for the last 4 years, I could just never imagine just leaving the ham show and just eating a random booty.
We're not talking about eating I'm talking about your girlfriend right now. Like,
no particles, please.
you came home from the day. You don't know what she's been doing, but you just looking at the ass. It looks nice. You just want to just pull the pants down and just shove your face in it.
But my girl has a nice little like if I go to like eat her ass and she hasn't showered in 10 hours,
She's gonna be like, hold on.
she's gonna be like,
But then you don't have to shower.
The other day, all right, listen to this.
We always have to get on some weird shit. I'm
On
sorry.
Thursday afternoon, I took a shower before I went to hook up with Trisha. I then proceeded to not shower
Ew.
Thursday night, Friday, Saturday,
Ew.
and I showered at the end of the day, Sunday. Lena was coming in while I'm sitting there on my computer playing poker, and she's just like, you haven't showered in 72 hours, you fucking reek.
Yeah,
I went in the pool at one point and still didn't shower.
that's kind of like taking a shower.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. But
Can guys
she
get
really didn't agree
UTIs?
with that.
Probably
You can, but I
yeah.
don't
Sounds
think
like you
It's probably
would- sounds like you
transferable.
would get one.
I don't think it's not going to happen.
You got a
from-
yeast infection
Or
in his
yeast
dick from not
infection.
taking a shower.
Yeah.
Not true.
I
just
will
put
say-
Because like
put a loaf of
girls,
bread
you
in
have
there.
to shower after you have sex, or at least pee and like get all the particles out and shit like that, or you could get a UTI or yeast infection.
She wasn't feeling me not showering for 72 hours.
Yeah, you kind of smell right now, so I'm thinking about
I'm
if
not
you hadn't
on this side of the
if you
table.
haven't showered in 72 hours, it's probably crazy.
Remember the first time I met you, I hugged you.
Why?
And like
Why did y'all hug?
it was really weird.
That's
I didn't like
creepy.
it.
Remember
And then
that time he took you out on a date to go
He did
get
not take me
to
on a
go
date.
get?
That
we
was
had
not a date.
we had like a beer.
That's
It was
kind of.
definitely was not a beer. It was more like, hey, so what should I do about my career?
Yeah, it was a meeting.
It was a beer and
but
career.
but I think we met at a bar.
no, it was.
And then
No,
we went for Korean
no, we
food
had, we
after.
had Korean barbecue
You guys
first.
really went on a date.
That
Then.
was
That's
not
crazy.
a date. It was Began and what's the other one's name? The other guy was there too.
Stevie?
Stevie.
But that was
Stevie was there.
That
It was
was
definitely not a date because
You guys went
I
on a
wasn't
date.
looking at Adam like,
Me-
oh.
no. But I remember
Me-
Reese saying that she was using me.
Exactly.
Because didn't you eat Korean food with somebody else that week
It was
too?
Reese. It was Reese. That's
Yeah.
It's
same
not
dude.
my fault that they want to take me on a date.
She was
Period.
making
Kim's
everybody
a
buy
boss.
fucking
Kim's a boss. I fucking.
I like Korean barbecue.
Asian girl that I know the other day, she tweeted, "I want somebody to eat kimchi off my pussy."
Who is she?
She's a porn star.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sarah. My bad.
I'm not eating kimchi off the hottest woman in the world.
Also, it
butt.
sounds like it would sting your vagina.
I just don't like kimchi,
Very
so I'm
spicy.
good.
Isn't kimchi like pickled?
It's pickled
It's fermented.
cabbage,
I
fermented
don't
cabbage.
want anything
It's really good.
fermented on a
Super good.
vagina at all.
Apparently, it kills coronavirus.
kimchi.
Yes. Look
Ladies
it
and
up.
gentlemen, this has been the No Jumper Show. We've been doing this every day, once a
year.
week for a year.
Woo!
Hey.
Also, tune into us listening to your music afterwards and follow me on Twitch.
And we got that good
twitch.tv/camgirl.
kimchi.
Also,
Kimchi.
everybody go spam I am Sarah Molina's Instagram with house phone emojis
If
in the
you
comments.
have any naked photos of house
No,
phone,
relax,
feel free to
relax,
DM them
relax,
to
relax.
Also,
her.
how come if you miss 1 week, they literally think you're dead?
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
They thought I was dead.
Could you imagine if like Rory or Maul weren't on the Joe Budden podcast one week?
And they had
Yeah,
like a
you're right.
replacement. That would be weird.
That would be weird. Did they never get sick, or they just?
They just
think-
thug it out.
Yeah, right? Dude, they must be invincible. I was super sick. I was sick for an entire week. I haven't been that sick in a while.
I mean, I would say honestly that like I don't think I've been sick in like the last year. Like I'm pretty sure that I could have came in every Tuesday for the last couple of years. But I mean, I'm capable
I feel like
of getting sick. It's just pretty rare.
I only like have been like hungover or like coked over sick. I haven't been like sick. Like I just got sick.
I got sick. My sickness was so weird. I played this really shitty game with shout out to Rico the Giant. We played a granny simulator game.
Granny simulator?
Yes, where I'm a granny or he's a granny, and then one of us is like a little toddler, and then you have to like kick the toddler. And I played that game for at least like an hour and a half. I got so dizzy. I got up and I threw up everywhere.
What?
And then I proceeded to be sick and had a headache for a week.
This sounds like the worst game of all time.
It
Granny Simulator?
It was a funny game, but it was a really bad game. It was a shitty ass game.
You should watch, if you ever get into gamer YouTube, you should watch that dude. He's fucking hilarious.
He is hilarious. Shout out to
Rico
him.
the Giant. And also, so many white kids have appropriated his content and like played the exact same games that he played.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Also, I found out he's part of Glow Navy.
Like
and I might join Team S. I'm joining SODMG Gamers.
I'm trying to join the Glow Gang gamer squad.
Glow Navy.
Oh,
Shout out to Colorful Moolah, dude. He's fucking tight.
Once we get off this, I got to tell you what rapper got put down with the set.
With what set?
Which set?
Oh, set like a real one. Like you're not gonna believe it.
All right. Okay.
Let's log off.
In this right now, I want to know.
No Jumper Show, episode 52.
Tune
We
in.
out. Adam 22, house phone cam girl.
Wait,
Pow.
seriously, go to I am Sarah Molina's Instagram and leave house phone
Get
emojis.
him some
No,
top.
more
Boom.
importantly, tune into
Tune into our music stream and we'll be there.